Okay, hopefully that worked. Didn't work. Yay, it worked. Okay, good, we're live. Yay. Huh. Hi, Nicole. Hello. I need to make this bigger. How's it going? Oh. Hola. You're first. Nice. Well, I can see you guys. Hi, Lisa. Hi. I was gonna wait a couple minutes and then hi, Shibby. I was gonna play Prof and Silky's Delphi Body Count and then just private it for later so that like I'll leave the link for people to go. Actually, I should find it right now. It would be, why do I always have to make everything? You would think it would remember that I need things bigger because I am blind. How's it going? How you guys doing? How's everybody doing? Oh, look at the little crowns are back. Wonder why that came back. What am I looking at? Oh yeah, I'm looking up, going to my channel, playlists, and it is Deconstructing Delphi. Okay, no. I want the playlist. There it is. No, Silky. Okay. Share. Copy. Paste. Yeah. Well, I think it's almost 10 months ago now. Paste. There we go. Yes. Great success. I love it when a plan comes together. So I don't know. I opened this in, what do you call it? What is this thing called? Chrome. I opened it in Chrome so that I could see if I could get it to play on the thing, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that. Actually, let me see. I'm going to ask ChatGPT real quick. Okay. How do I play video and get the sound to work on StreamYard? Like, actually, this will take. Yeah, I'm not feeling great either, guys. So, how does one play a video with sound on StreamYard while streaming live? And how do you make the sound work on that video? Because it never works usually. Yeah. Video file. Won't hear the sound unless you enable a specific audio option. Yeah. At the bottom left, it's like the Chrome tab option. Choose share screen. Okay, let me see if I can do this. This is gonna be. Okay. And now what did it say? Also share audio tab. I have it clicked on. Yeah, share. This box only appears when you pick a browser tab, not a window or entire screen. So I have to choose this one. I have to choose the Chrome tab. And then I do, oh, but, yeah. Okay. And I share. And I want to do this one. Oh man, I need to be logged into my other account.
Than anybody else. We have over
Can you
200
hear that?
animatronics, including way more licensed
Can you
products
hear?
and
Can you
75
hear
new styles just this year.
the dumb
Number two, we design our own
commercials?
product in-house.
That's very loud. Can you guys hear it? Somebody tell me if you can hear it. Can you hear it? Okay. Oh my god, I did it, guys. Guys, I did it. Are you guys surprised? I'm surprised. I did it. Okay. But I want to see hopefully that doesn't ruin it. Oh my gosh, you guys, I can't believe I did it. Hi, Todd. Can you guys hear me? You guys can hear me. Okay. Yay! Oh my gosh! I love the cheese. I'm so excited. Okay, but I need to see. Auditor, yeah. It's also quiet too. Alright, hold on. Oh yeah, I can hear it here. Okay. I love her. It's good. Oh, okay. Okay. That's a long intro.
Anyway,
Okay.
please hit that like button. This is
Actually, this might
I'm
be
just gonna
easier to
say,
just
and
do
I
on
had
my
told
phone.
Prof this earlier. I think if you are new
Can you
here
hear them
and you are
okay? Because
following
she's
the
kind of
Delphi
low.
trial and you don't know a lot of the background of Carroll County and stuff like that. Now, a lot of y'all know, and we're dependent on you to give us some names
I'm
and
sorry,
details of people
Nicole.
we're not thinking of. But I have.
Yeah, I'm sorry. That's rough. It was your voice, but without music, both sound great. Okay. Okay. Weird. Okay. Okay, but I paused it, but it's still like going. Did I pause my actual thing? No, see, it's okay. There we go. Okay, sorry. Well, so yeah, I wanted to come and just hang out with people. Because I know, like, let me see, make it. Whoa. Okay. So basically, if you guys want to talk about anything or whatever, feel free to go ahead and talk about it. I'm not sure how to pronounce Sherawn Chappel. That's pretty heavy, and I just wanted to, I don't know. I didn't want to be alone either, obviously. That's why I'm streaming. So this is just a place to hang out. I'm going to be working. You guys can talk amongst yourselves. We're going to be watching Prof and Silky's Delphi Body Count. And I think it's important to remember everybody that's that's been lost over the years. So I'll try to keep an eye on chat and chime in every once in a while. But I kind of can't remember what I was even going to say. So just this stuff is real life. It's very heavy. Yeah. With this case. Yeah. And, it's hard. It's difficult for the mind to differentiate between, like, when you're on the internet, it doesn't feel real. It doesn't feel like this is real life. And, it wasn't until like I started getting like actual harassment that, but it's harder for people just that are looking in to understand it as such. But these are our real lives. This is like, not to say that anything is like anything that I've been through is anything in comparison to what these other people have gone through. But what I'm trying to say is that this Sherawn, I'm probably mispronouncing that, but she's a brave person who put her life on the line, and did the right thing. And yes, this could be an incredible fluke of fate. Thanks, Nicole. Yeah. All suffering is suffering, right? But it's, it hits home a little bit harder because for all of us, because like, is this just another person that tried to do the right thing and is now gone with the whole family, and of course, like allegedly, speculatively, like we can't know for sure, but it's like when you tip something into the cops, like you have this this hope that they're going to help you and protect you. And again, maybe it is a fluke, right? It's one of those things that's going to be more difficult to prove, right? The right thing is subjected to such abuse. No one should have to lose their life. I think Richard Allen is a pretty good example of somebody who has lost his life. His family has lost a huge part of their lives. It's really happening. And it is hard to process. And, you know, I'm not religious, but I do use kind of the hyperbole, but God help us if we find out that the people that were supposed to be protecting people were the ones behind this. So, hi Daisy. Hello. Hi Amy. How's it going? So, yeah, we're just gonna, you know, not to be too heavy or anything, but it's jogging my memory as to all these people that did have some, you know, some portions of knowledge or information that then got caught up in this and they went away and they disappeared. You know, it's good to see you all too. Yeah. Oh, good. Yeah. So, like I said, I'm gonna work, and feel free to definitely, you know, chat amongst yourselves, and we'll watch Prof and Silky, and then I'll probably take this down just because like I want you guys to go and watch their actual video. Yeah, and that's the link to the video. So yeah, we'll just go ahead and get back up on going. So let's see. If you guys can still hear me, that's good too.
A long list now. But you might want to get a pen and paper because there are some names you're going to want to remember, don't you think, Prof?
Oh yeah, those of you new to Delphi, your minds may be blown a little tonight, but if you're a veteran, long timer, you'll know what we're talking about.
Digital, hello. Peaches, hello. Yeah, we've got so much to talk about. I'm going to dive right in. Is that okay with you, Prof?
Absolutely.
All right. We're going to talk about, and I'm going to start with something that if you've, well, I'll say this. Even a lot of people that follow Delphi don't know about Flora, and especially the new people don't know about Flora. And we are coming up on the anniversary of, hold on just a second, of the Flora 4 fire. Do you want to talk about Flora, Prof?
Oh,
I mean, either one of us can start.
sure. God bless those little girls.
Yeah.
Never
This,
knew them, but I love them. And I've said before that I encourage anyone whatsoever whosoever might be in Indiana to visit Indianapolis and go to Crown Hill Cemetery and go and find their headstones and spend some time with them, and you'll be moved. You'll come back. They're in a gorgeous cemetery, and they have beautiful headstones. And if you go spend some time with them, you'll come away uh, feeling very connected. And I just love those little girls, and I feel for
yeah.
their mother. And yeah, that's all I got to say.
Um, I've got a cat tangled in everything. Say hello to Sachi. Okay, Sach, you can't be up here. Um, yeah, I don't talk about Flora as much, but we're kind of coming up on the anniversary actually in just a few days. Um, I don't talk about Flora as much, Prof, because I get so emotional. I'm either gonna get really irritated and start yelling, or I'm gonna cry, or both. And that's not something that I like to do in chat and on a live stream. But if you don't know about Flora, now this is just 3 months before the murder of Abby and Libby. This is in Flora, which is just up the road, pretty much from Delphi. It is in Carroll County as well. Now, in November of 2016, these four little girls, and look, I'm not going to go into the gory details, and the details are very, very bad. Not so much. I mean, the whole situation is really bad. So understand, I will be doing some more videos on Flora in the coming weeks after the trial. Um, but in 2016, these four girls perished in a house fire. Now, that if the crime has never been solved, and let me just say this, a lot of the players and a lot of the names that you hear brought up in Delphi were involved in Flora. For instance, it crosses over. Understand it's a small county. I'm not accusing anybody. I'm saying that there are a lot of connections. All right. You have the connections with Becky Patty, who was Liberty German's grandmother, did the appraisal on the Flora house fire, I don't know, 6 to 8 weeks before the fire. You have a lot of the people like David Erskine, a lot of the first responders that went to Flora also went to Delphi. And so there's a lot of crisscrossing in here. Now, there have been a lot of theories, just like Delphi. This is another one that is extremely difficult to unravel because of all of the players. You have a little bit of racism. You have a little bit, I probably shouldn't say that on YouTube, but I did. So you have that. Um, you have uh, you have potential dealings in substances, and I don't even know. I don't even know, Prof, what to say, except many people have said, I think you've probably heard it too, that if you can solve Flora, you can solve Delphi. And from what I know, I would say there is a very large possibility that that is true. What do you think, Prof?
Well, I think that the facts are that there are so many of the same names tied around both cases. So that in and of itself would suggest some sort of potential, potential
Right.
there.
Right. I you've probably I know you've covered Flora in your playlist. I also have in my old videos from like a year and a half ago. If you want the details, you can go to either one of our channels and look at long discussions on Flora. But I would say this one, even though it's happened just before Delphi, I still included this one in the count, the death count. Okay. Um, Now, the next person I want to talk about is Stephanie Thompson. Now, Stephanie Thompson is directly related to Flora and also to Delphi because, again, some of the first responders of Flora have come up in Delphi. Stephanie was a was she was ISP, right, Prof?
Yes.
Okay. Stephanie Thompson was ISP, and her job primarily, I think, was to um, do the polygraphs for people. And she was so good at it that people said she was a human polygraph, that she knew the results just by listening to someone talk. I mean, of course, she had it on paper, she had the science behind it, but she was very, very good. Now, I'm not going to name any names in this live stream. But one of the first responders um, of the county had to undergo a polygraph with Stephanie Thompson, and there were, just put it this way, a lot of questions about whether the whole truth was coming out. And strangely enough, shortly after that, Stephanie and her daughter Maya died in a house fire. Now, Stephanie was married to Judge Thompson. We're going to talk a little bit later on about the connections between a lot of these people in Carroll County. But Stephanie, yeah, it was very strange. Wouldn't you say, Prof? It's just kind of strange. The details of that house fire.
Yes, killed then burned, like 85% or so.
Yeah.
These suspicious deaths, they often they're killed and then they're arsoned. Yeah.
Yes. And her husband was not present that night. There's just a lot. And if you want to start on the fires of Carroll County, I could go on and on and on and on. Have lots of stuff on just the fires, which I probably will do one of these days as well. But yeah, so we added Stephanie because of the relationship between her and the first responders of both Flora and Delphi. Now, let's go.
Hey guys. Hey guys, coming in. Sorry. We're just streaming an old live stream from 11 months ago or 10 months ago. And this is the Delphi Body Count. Maybe I should leave this up that way. So, yeah. Sorry for the confusion. Let me link this. Link that in chat. Yeah, we're still working, Shibby. Okay, but yeah, so this is really good. All things considered, with what happened. I guess on the 4th. I think that happened on the 4th. Her being married to a judge. Who is married to a judge? Hi Carol. Hi everybody. Hi Jake. Sorry if I didn't say hi sooner. Hi, Tommy. Hi, Sunflower. Hi, Nicole. Hi, Lisa. Hi, Jenny. Yeah, I'm sorry if I missed anybody, and Shibby. Yeah. Okay. So here we'll go back to playing it, but yeah, just for anybody, so that there's no. Oh, Stephanie, she was married to a judge. That's right. Thank you, Tommy. Yep. Okay. We'll just go
To
back to that.
Greg Ferenczi.
Hi, Rick.
Greg Ferenczi, although if you're new, you didn't hear it in the trial because they didn't bring this up because they couldn't bring in third party things. Greg Ferenczi, who was it, Prof? It was Todd Click, it was Click Ferenczi, and who were
Kevin
the
Murphy.
Kevin Murphy, and who was the fourth investigator?
Oh, you got me there.
There were 4 of them. I cannot remember. Anyway, there were 4 investigators that were really on top of it in the beginning of Delphi. Okay, they were they did some really deep digging. I'm getting tongue tied. They got a lot of
I love Silk.
information. Okay, they very much had a suspect. As a matter of fact, and he's not a victim. Well, he is a victim in my opinion, but Greg Ferenczi, they actually brought their information and they said, hey, look, we believe that these are the perpetrators of the crime on the Monon High Bridge. Okay, Abby and Libby, they felt like they had solved this. They're very good investigators, a lot of experience. And shortly after that, they're in the office one day and someone throws a Molotov cocktail outside of the building. So Greg Ferenczi walks out to see what's going on and he is shot and killed right there.
In cold blood.
In cold blood. Now, after Ferenczi died, the other 3 officers, they kind of just stopped the investigation. I've read different interviews with some of them, and they said I guess maybe their whole, not their theories, they never changed their minds on what they believe happened. Had nothing, by the way, to do with Richard Allen. They had very good suspects, and after this, the investigation just kind of fell apart. They stopped really working on it. And we're going to talk about that. That's really what I'm going to let Prof talk about, is the culture of fear. So I'm building up here to show you why there is a culture of fear. Now, Todd Click was supposed to testify at the Delphi trial, and he was on he was on notice for a long time, because after Richard Allen was arrested, these officers came to Nick McClellan, the prosecutor, and said, "Hey, excuse me, but we don't think Rick Allen is the guy. We told you who is responsible for this years ago." And basically, they were ignored. And then Todd Click was supposed to testify at the trial. And strangely enough, there's these weird charges that were brought against him. So that took him out of the running of testifying at the trial. It's a little sus, don't you think, Prof?
Yeah, I think that was retribution, payback.
Yeah,
That's my conspiracy theory.
yeah. Mine too. I think it was payback, and I also think it was prevention. Although I don't know the way the trial went. I don't know, since they couldn't bring in third party. I don't know if he would have actually been able to testify. But if he had, it would be part of the court record. Anyway, this happened. By the way, this happened on in 2021. Okay. Now let's talk about another officer who had a strange. I can't, this is one of those things you can't say it was, but you can't say it wasn't. Nate Miller was an officer that started working for Carroll County, and he had only been there, about 6 months, I think. And as far as anyone knew, as far as was reported, he had a happy home life, happy, everything, just a regular guy living his life, no big problems at home, nothing that sent up red flags. But after he was working for Carroll County, and I believe I've heard several people say he was working, trying to help. I'm sure all the officers were trying to help in some way solve the Delphi case. In his patrol car in uniform without any red flags, Nate Miller is found unalive, self-induced wasn't he at a park or something, Prof? I think. Anyway,
in his vehicle,
on duty,
I believe, or something.
he unalived himself
Yeah.
in his patrol car.
Patrol car.
Which, look, there's a lot of stresses that go with being law enforcement, but it's just suspicious, okay?
Yep.
If there were never
Well,
any
therefore-
signs, according to his family,
Thank you,
that
Lisa.
he was suffering from depression or any of these things prior to working for Carroll County. And then if you're going to do something like that, doing it on the job in your patrol car
Sorry.
is not usually the way that you do it.
Yeah.
So there you go.
The lie detector test went
Just
missing?
wanted to bring that up.
Huh.
Now, let's go on.
Yeah.
Now, I can't say.
I'm sorry, Silky. I want to draw attention
Okay.
to Monday's comment here.
Okay.
Body count 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, even more. 13, 14, 15, 16. The body count is very high surrounding all of these people.
Yes, it is. Now, I included, and I can't say that this was, let's just say this is rumor, okay? If you didn't know who Cat was a YouTuber, and he says in a lot of his videos he was down at the Monon High Bridge during February 13th, 14th. Cat, they said, died of natural causes. However, let me just put this out here. I'm including him in the count because of the Delphi culture, and a lot of us know how lethal and how dangerous it is to be on YouTube and talking about Delphi. People have known this for many years, and Cat has been said.
Well, and then also don't forget that like a couple weeks after this live, Silky did get swatted, had her devices confiscated, and it took the police 7 weeks to get her devices back to her. So just to put it in context for people.
All right, rumored. that there were some things about Kat's death that weren't quite right. And perhaps, just perhaps, someone else could have been involved. And I'm going to leave it at that. You can look up Michael Katstroop, and you can look in some of the chats and Reddit and all that stuff, and you'll probably come across some information. So I did include him. Just while I'm at it, RIP to Doug Rice, who was involved, and his death was,
Me too,
I mean,
sunflower.
completely, it was natural. All right. Had nothing suspicious that I know of about Doug Rice's death, but he was investigating early on, and we lost him as well. Now, our next one.
And I'd
This
like
is-
to say something
Go ahead,
Susan,
yeah.
on that cat is that it's very funny because a lot of these deaths, they appear to be suicides or overdoses and that sort of thing. But the more I look into it, the more that they look like hot shots and murders. I think that when we're looking at these deaths, you can't always take for face value the claims of suicide or of overdoses. You really gotta kind of back off and question everything, because we know, like Shelley's saying here, who doesn't investigate 14 deaths? Who doesn't investigate all of the deaths surrounding this and start to say, like, what the hell is going on here?
Exactly.
So I'm sorry to interrupt. I just wanted
No,
to.
I want you to interrupt. You're so quiet. I know you're watching chat, because when we're talking, it's kind of hard.
It's a lot of chat.
I want to let you know though, Prof, if you see something that you want to go back to, put a star. If you hover over that, you can star a comment, and that way we can go back and we can answer all the questions.
Perfect.
Or things, yeah, because there's so many. Thank you so much. There's so many people talking and saying such good things that we want to go back to some of this. Now, next on the list is Judge Mothmer. We will get to even how he's related. Well, actually, let me see. Judge Mothmer, yeah, I will go back to him. He, strangely enough, was a judge who decided to go, and I'll tell you how it's related in just a second. He decides to, they say, supposedly, he decides to work on his car one day after work. Now, so he goes out to his barn,
Yep, Jake Brooks.
garage,
Yep.
something, and he's underneath his car. All of a sudden, the jack goes out from slips, and his vehicle crushes him. Now, I know that's an accident that does happen from time to time. And I would say if it wasn't in this area of Indiana, it
Yeah.
might have been passed up. First of all, Prof, I don't know what kind of judge works on his own vehicle, but, that's the story.
It's funny. I was just thinking that in my head. It's like, what kind of judge works on his own car? But who knows? You never know.
Maybe it was an
he
old
was
car.
into that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Press release.
Sister. Yeah. Okay, now
I
his
didn't know
sister
he was
was
married to. This says sister married to Faust.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
I
So
didn't know that either. But let me take you to something that I do know.
artist says there that Faust's sister was married to Judge Malmer. So Jesus Christ, Shibby. All right. Just try to behave yourself, sir.
Let's see. Here we go. Make sure, can y'all see that? Yeah. All right. So over here in the yellow, this is Judge Mothmer. Now, what's interesting about Judge Mothmer
Yeah,
is that he prosecuted the guy in green, Tracy Lee Evans. Okay. This guy was a chomo. Tracy Lee Evans had multiple problems with children. Okay. It wasn't his first rodeo. And Judge Moffmer wanted to make a statement. He really wanted to come against this. And so he um, sentenced Travis Lee Evans to 152 years for child SA. All right. That's a lot of years. Now, what has this got to do with anything? Well, as it would happen, Travis Evans has a nephew named Shane Evans. Now, Shane Evans, at the time of Abby and Libby's death, was the mayor of Delphi. Now, Shane Evans works for the prosecutor, Nick McClellan.
Hey guys, hey Teresa, hey Copo, how's it going, guys? We're just a quick recap. We are watching a live from, it's actually November 10th, 2024, about the Delphi Body Count. So yeah, Shane Evans' uncle was the one that Mommer put away for a long time for doing very bad things to kids. So we're just going over it, and but yeah, so I'll be in and out. Sorry to make it like so discombobulated as always. There we go. Okay, we'll play it now.
Very interesting.
Oh, that makes my blood boil. That makes my
Yeah.
blood boil. So it's silky.
Yeah, it does mine too. And so, yeah, that was a very suspicious death. So, you try the uncle of the mayor, sentence him to 152 years, and then all of a sudden, your vehicle crushes you because you're working on your car. Because as a judge, you don't make enough money apparently to do that. Now, I mean, it's always been one of those suspicious deaths that people bring up. On the right side of the second, because we're going to look at the right side of this. But now after that, you get to Anna Downham. Am I saying that right? Anna Downham and John McCurdy. Now, here is a real head scratcher. Okay, this is a house that burned. By the way, if y'all don't know anything about Indiana, especially Carroll County and surrounding counties, things just go up like poof. Man, the buildings and the houses, I don't know what they build them out of. Straw, I guess. I don't know. There are so many ridiculous amounts of buildings burning. And that does revert back to Florida as well. But now this is in 2020 in Carroll County. They found a man and a woman inside the home, and the woman, they say Anna Downham, had been killed before the fire started in the house. But they don't believe that John McCurdy did it. Now, they're both killed in the fire. So let's go back to this right here. John McCurdy, if you look over here on the right with this little flame, John McCurdy died in the house fire. What's interesting is that John McCurdy was married to a woman named Barbara. Barbara, his ex-wife, is the sister of Steve Mullen, who was the chief of police in Delphi at the time of the murders. Now, also like what somebody said, now who was that? Fouts was married to who did we just say a while ago? What did you put up on the screen?
Was it Fout's sister and Mullins? No. Oh gosh, let me go back.
I know it gets confusing, right?
Fout's sister and Mothman. Oh, word.
That
I don't know if I
wonder
can
if I
find
have
it.
that.
Fouts' sister was married to Judge Mommer.
Oh, no wonder my stuff is going crazy.
What are you
Sorry.
going crazy doing over there?
It's my cat. She was sitting on the keyboard.
Oh,
Well, thanks,
Okay.
guys. Thank
found
you.
this. Let me find this.
Oh,
Let's see.
Okay. Let's go back.
Oh, there
Okay.
it is. So
sorry, guys.
I
Do you want to, Trial Junkie, do you want a moderator thing? What do you call it? A wrench? My brain stops working like after a certain time. Why is this not letting me? Son of a bitch. Oh, they fucked up. I have to wonder if dismiss him, the suspect. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna make you one too. Sorry. Oh, is Gretchen here? Hi, Gretchen. I'll make you one too. Moderator. Okay, there we go. We're back. Back. Good.
Meant
Okay,
Fouts' sister
There we
married
go.
to Mothmer.
yeah.
Okay.
Right.
So I need
Tuck,
another
tuck,
line
wrench.
over here. So Fouts' sister is married to Mothmer. Okay, let me go back because I have Mothmer on the page before that. You're starting over here. You have Judge Diener and Abigail Diener. Diener is a name that you've heard a lot in the trial. Diener, Abigail, and Stephanie Thompson, who died in the house fire, were working with CASA together in 2012. And then, y'all, it's a whole thing. Judge Fouts actually was prosecuted not that much for
No.
having
Oh yeah.
multiple. He was part of the Kokomo Boys Club, and
Yeah.
there were a lot of girls, underage
To make this
girls used for
bigger.
SA.
There you go.
The whistle was blown by this woman down here in pink, Jalen Rain, and she also was part of the Kokomo Boys Club. So you see how Fouts. Okay, John McCurdy. Oh, see, I forgot this. John McCurdy is Judge Fouts' cousin. And okay, yeah, here we go. Well, it says Judge Dan Fouts. Okay. His daughter Beth. Yeah, married to Judge Mothmer. Okay. There we go. So yeah, you see how all of these people, the same names keep coming up. Very interesting. Now, let's fast forward to another one. Karina McClurkin. Karina McClurkin was a young girl who went missing. Okay, she was known to participate with the Kokomo Boys Club, sort of, not exactly in that, maybe in that same vein. She did have a history of substance abuse, but one day she just comes up missing. And it was literally years before they found Karina's body. Now, they did pin that on a man, and I'm not saying pin as in I don't think he's guilty. I don't know anything about him. His last name is Farmer, Flint Farmer. And I think this was only, Prof, in the last year or two that they found Karina's body. There were lots of rumors from the Kokomo Boys Club and the motorcycle club, the whole 9 yards that goes into Kokomo. Kokomo, by the way, has a crime rate that is insane as far as statistically, as far as, ratio to people who live there. Okay. So their crime rate is astronomical. And Karina, unfortunately, got mixed up with this crowd, was missing. I haven't been following the Flint Farmer case, but I imagine that there's a lot of stuff that's going to come up with that. Now, speaking of Kokomo, we've got Gabe Ellis. Now, the day that Abby and Libby were missing,
You live in Kokomo?
Karina was missing.
I pray for you.
Gabe Ellis was also in the area of Delphi around and about during February 13th and 14th. This is when he was arrested.
It was
when
very
he was
disturbing,
arrested,
Lisa. Yeah.
He was in the car with a 16-year-old girl named Sierra. Sierra had been given substances. She had been abused. And he was also riding around with substances and weapons. Now, Gabe was arrested, and these pictures were literally taken just like he was arrested back to back. This is prior to Abby and Libby.
TJ, Sherawn Chappel was found deceased. Well, no. So she and a gentleman, their pickup truck, I guess, had gone off a dock, and the woman was taken to the hospital, but she died. And she had been a witness for basically testifying against an owner of some sort of property where there were. I would go back and watch Erica's latest video on it. So, coroner's office that had some strange happenings just a few days ago. They are investigating. Ugh, coroners are creepy. So yeah, that is the distressing news. Okay, yeah, you were there. I'm sorry. Yeah, you were there. So I think I don't know. Like if this comes back on the police, I think a lot of things will, but that's all speculation and alleged. So we'll keep it at that. But hi Shay, hello. Yeah, I think I don't know. I would not trust ISP to investigate that. So sorry guys. Get back to it.
On the left, on the right, just a few days later, he has shaved his whole head, which has made him one of the big suspects in the Delphi case, along with others, as you know. And he is currently in jail. He's committed so many crimes. I'm not going to get into all of Gabe Ellis.
Sorry, Shay. Yeah, so we're just replaying a live stream that Silky and Prof did 11 months ago. And yeah, I wouldn't trust ISP with anything. But yeah, so we're just we're going over the Delphi body count, and I don't know if you saw Erica's latest live, Shay, but there was another woman who had been a witness to some gnarly things that then got tipped in to Unified Task Force or Unified Command or whatever the fuck it's called. In I think it was March 10th, 2022, and it was before Erica and Christine were even working the case for Rick. But they tipped it in because the woman who died a couple days ago, Sherawn, and I'm probably mispronouncing that, which really sucks. But she had testified that she believed that an owner or owners of several establishments, I believe in Michigan City or nearby, had been connected to the Anthony Schatz account. So, yeah. So that's so we're going over a live on the Delphi body count to kind of see like how deep this thing goes. So, and just for an update too, guys, I don't know if you saw I have actually several community posts up, but the last live I did where we talked about the My Death Space tip, that is debunked, or so I think it's pretty well debunked. It's a pretty simple solution that actually was pointed out by HCC, that the tip was updated on the 19th, so about 5 days later, but that's why the headline is that they come back as murdered. So I just want to clarify that, and I hope nobody like. Again, I'm glad I didn't put it in a presentation, but again, you know, unless somebody can prove otherwise, I think it's a pretty well debunked at that point. So, but yeah, sorry, I'll get back to it. Just the ADD medicine wears off, and then you know, just
But he
anything
is
that
in
pops in my
jail.
head.
Suspected of
My
being
Pruitt allegations of misconduct.
potentially
Okay.
also involved with Karina and other girls, other situations. And I'm gonna, before I go on with the rest of the list, I want to bring this up because this, I just found this today, and Prof told me that this has been going on. I mean, like the last couple of days, this came up. Look at this, the marriage licenses. Y'all who are following the trial are gonna find this very interesting. Bradley Weber, 35, and Catherine Westfall, 40, of Brinkhurst, applied for a marriage license on July 17th of 2002, according to the Delphi Carroll County Comet, which is their newspaper. It's all online now.
What date does that say there?
2002,
Does it say the date?
July 17th.
Okay, I have a date of July 2nd, 2002. Marriage. So maybe, yeah, I can't see it as too small.
Oh, sorry.
But no, Brad
Yeah.
Weber and Catherine Westfall, July
Yeah.
of 2002.
Crazy, huh? Crazy. So, especially when you're talking about the Delphi case, and if you all are just learning about it, there is there is a huge third party theory that has way more evidence against them than Richard Allen ever thought about having. One of those characters is a guy named Patrick Westfall. So clearly, Brad Weber, who was, you know, who has a house right there at
Who, of course, is in the news now. So, again, I guess he got arrested. Jenny was telling us about it. If Jenny is still here, Jenny, are you still here? Yeah. I have no idea what really happened with Westfall, but for whatever reason, he's been arrested. So, chew and swallow. Okay. All right. Sorry. I'm trying not to interrupt anymore.
and testified at the trial, and everybody's like, who is this goofball?
Me
Yeah,
too,
you can't say
Shay.
you don't know the Westfalls of
Me too.
Brinkhurst.
Send
Just saying. I just threw that in there.
Send to me?
Okay, let's go back to some more. Let's go back to other people who have been accused or their POIs. Persons of interest in the Delphi case prior to Richard Allen. You have Garrett Kurtz and Ashley Garth.
Well, yeah, I think
Now,
you did, Shay.
they are both in
I think
jail.
you did. Thank you.
Garrett Kurtz, to me, actually not as much as Tyler French, but he could be young bridge guy. You see him in other pictures. You could possibly see that.
Yeah,
Now,
you did. You left the link.
Let me go to the next picture. These are in jail for, number one, the death of Ray Hamish. Now, this is something that Prof, did Garrett do this one by himself? Ray Hamish, I think.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you already have, and that's a whole story. You want to hear about it sometime? We'll talk about it. The one that let's go on to. Oh, I didn't put her name up here. Nicole Bowen.
Nicole, yes.
Nicole Bowen is what they're in jail for. The unaliving of Nicole out of, I don't know, jealousy, whatever. Now, what you need to know is that Garrett Kurtz was not only was it said that
And thanks for
He and the
registering.
crew were around the Monown High Bridge on February 13th, 2017. But also, the property, again, this didn't come up in the trial, but the property that Abby and Libby were found on was owned by a man named Ron Logan. Now, Ron Logan was a suspect
I
early
love
on.
you.
He was the first
I love you.
suspect that they had. Ron Logan was, I think he passed away in 2020 or 2021 of COVID?
I thought it was
One of those.
2022.
That's what they
But-
say. I'm still not even sure about that.
Yeah, there's some weird stuff with that. Ron Logan, it was on his property, et cetera, et cetera. Again, a whole nother can of worms. And even the FBI felt that Ron Logan was involved. Now, I don't know whether that's true or not. But what I do know is that Garrett Kurtz frequented Ron Logan's property. He would ride horses, things like that. So Garrett Kurtz was very, very familiar with the area. And rumors have it that Garrett Kurtz was there that day. So yeah, you have the untimely death of Nicole Bowen, also by Delphi suspects. And let me put this one up here. Kyra Boning. Now, she was another woman that had a kind of a strange end. Prof, you want to talk about Kyra?
Yeah, I almost
never
want to back up a few back to Ashley and Garrett.
Okay,
don't
let's
mind.
go.
Yeah. There's Kyra was okay, good. There we go. Garrett and Ashley. So in Prof's universe, these two are involved in Delphi, in my opinion.
Hi, Dee.
I believe they were both there involved. And why aren't they talking is the thing. But can you go forward a few to
Worked as an executive at Walt Disney?
Yeah.
What do you
There we go.
mean?
Okay, so see Nicole. Now the interesting thing about those two, for me, a huge red flag with those two is when they killed Nicole. The story that they spread was that Ashley was jealous of Nicole. Okay, that was the first story they spread. We killed her out of jealousy. Garrett killed her for Ashley because Ashley was jealous. Well, I never bought that story, but the most interesting thing in the world to me is that then sometime later, Garrett came out and corrected that and said, no. I killed Nicole because of a meth operation. She had knowledge of a meth operation I was involved with.
It's funny.
Well, remember that I am saying that I believe Garrett killed Nicole because she knew about Delphi. And and as you may remember, I've said that I believe Delphi was a meth operation. So it's my opinion that Garrett told the truth, that he killed Nicole here over a meth operation he was involved with that she had knowledge of, which was Delphi. And part of the reason I say that is because Radar told me about an experience she had with Ron Logan. And as you were referring to Garrett knowing Ron Logan very well and Ron knowing Garrett very well, that when Ron learned that
For Paramount?
Garrett had killed Nicole, he was stunned.
That's crazy.
He was stunned. And what he said to Radar was, what on earth could you do? Would someone have to do to make you kill them? And they were realizing and discussing how they had to have killed Nicole because she had knowledge of another murder. And I've never been able to let that go. I've never been able to let it go. So in my opinion, this poor girl right here was brutally killed and left in a hunting shack, by the way, because she had knowledge of Delphi and they wanted to silence her. And I almost, I don't know if you mind going back to Ray, but I sort of feel that maybe Ray too. Maybe there's a potential that Ray found something out right here.
I have read this case. Thank you all on both of our channels. Thank Thank you for your contributions. I usually do a contribution call out, but we're
Yeah,
kinda,
if you guys aren't already
we'll get to
subscribed
that
to
later.
Silky
But
and
thank
Prof,
you all so
please
much.
do.
A to Z.
Okay, Ray Hamish. You know what's crazy about all these cases, and that's why I told people if you don't know, get a pencil and paper and just start writing them down.
And
You can
there's the
Google it,
link
or you can go
to
to,
the live. Hi,
look at old
Hiawatha.
videos on people's channels. Each of these people
Yeah.
have a very unique story, and
Well,
I did read about Ray Hamish, but it's been a while.
So also too, Hiawatha, Garrett Kurtz tells open secrets that Ashley Garth had told him that a guy named Nick Edwards and somebody with the last name of Cox, I think, had seen a video of the snuff film of Abby and Libby, but so that's what, like, fourth hand information, you know? But so yeah, but yeah, I actually have that transcript. We like I can well I need to make the presentation, but I have to get these done first. So yeah, but yeah, so yeah, we'll just
Wow.
I'm gonna shut up.
So I couldn't remember all the details on that one.
Oh, this is interesting. Crazy Chick 79 says Nicole was also a witness with Libby's dad. Get out of here.
Where was that?
Ooh,
See,
that
I had
plot
Nicole
thickens.
was a
I
hi.
had
How's
starred this one.
it?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put a star on that. Also, right above that, somewhere. Let's see.
Mhm.
Where was my other star? They were talking. There was another one talking about Libby's dad. But here it is. Yeah, crazy chick. Libby's dad was a police informant against Ashley, and she lost custody of her kid because of it. And they stayed at Ron Logan's property.
Right.
Yes.
Where is that? Because I haven't been able to find that. There you go. No, that's not it.
14.
No, it's right.
Okay.
Hold on. Let me back
I'd
it
love
up
to
in the
throw
chat.
that one up because that's actual factual too. Whoever
Why is
that
it
is
so
said that
hard?
is very smart. Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, I see it.
Good to see you.
Hello, Joey. Thank
Oh
you so
wow.
much.
Libby's dad was a
Do
police
be
informant
careful.
against Ashley. Yes. And she lost custody of her kid because of it. Yes. And they stayed at Logan's property in the woods. Yes.
Yeah.
Crazy
Also,
chick.
this is true too, Joey. Fouts is the judge that kept letting Ashley Garth and her people in her substance
that
gang
interesting
off the
too.
hook. Yeah, as well as a lot of other people, Joey. I mean, I'm not going to start naming names, but we all know some of the people that Judge Fouts has represented, and they're not good. Okay, they're just not. Let's see, and then
Does she mean
tell us about Kyra.
does she mean when
Kyra
she
was
says
the
that
girlfriend.
when Silky says that Fouts represented them, is she saying that like he was a lawyer representing them, or is she saying that they went in front of him for their court cases? That was kind of what I was a little confused about. Sorry.
Beautiful girl, girlfriend of Mark Green, who was a tattoo artist with a shop in Flora.
As an attorney. Okay, thank you, Tommy.
And so it's very interesting with her death because she ended up dead. They searched for her, couldn't find her. And
Right.
where they had previously searched, just like Abby and Libby,
Thanks, guys.
they ended up finding her dead where they had already searched. It's my opinion, after her body had been dumped at the scene where they found her. And there's a lot with this story too.
Yeah.
I don't know if anyone in the chat. Why don't I let some people in the chat chime in on Kyra, another beautiful girl. Someone here said that these are all beautiful people. Someone up here in the chat said, and I agree, all of these are beautiful victims, aren't they?
Yeah. They are. And look, this isn't the end of the list. I
Yeah,
mean,
they've done several,
when we
Shibby.
talk about
They've done
stuff there,
several.
I mean, I've thought of, things. I don't know if they're directly related to Delphi, but I don't know that they're not. This is just probably the beginning list, and look at all the people that we've named so far. Let's see. Oh, yeah, all of these people appear on each other's Facebook's friends lists, and they have relatives appear on some of the families lists. Wow. Nicole was so beautiful. During Garrett's police interrogation, the officer stated Nicole was working with us. Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
I didn't know that. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah. And I mean, all of this, and there's just one more thing I want to say because, and I didn't realize this, until I was talking with Prof today about, and I'm not going to name the name, someone I couldn't find, someone I've associated with in the past, and I have great respect for her. She's awesome. Her channel is down. Her email is not working, and I have no way to contact her. So I wanted to say to all of the YouTubers over since 2017 who have been threatened, harassed, and shut down, thank you. Thank you for your contribution.
Amen.
And this is one of the things, Prof. It's like this is the setup, I guess, for what we wanted to talk about, which is the culture of fear. And it's not, we've both had harassment
What?
at different
Tell
times.
me.
You've had way more harassment than I have.
What?
But a lot of people have shut down, and I'm not, no blame, okay? You have to do what is right for your family.
Howdy,
and your
that's
safety,
true.
okay? I'm
Now
not
this is going to
saying
be
I'm not throwing shade here. It's just
this is going to be months before Howdy. Howdy was the 15th of February, 2025. This is November 10th, 2024. So it's about 3 months. 3 months before Howdy and Howdy's wife or significant other. I forget her name. Amanda, I think. Amanda. Yeah. Silky was swatted. Yep, Silky was swatted shortly after this. Did they mention Hoosier the Bruiser? I think they will. I think Hoosier the Bruiser. But Tommy, what is this? Greeno got a ticket that night as he was coming home from dumping her. Are you talking about the Cairo girl? At the porn shop, but cops didn't know about the basement. You can show the ticket. If you have that information, that probably needs to go to the cops. Well, that probably needs to go to the FBI. I would not trust your cops. I would take that to the FBI. Yeah. But yeah, just be careful if you live in that area. Be careful.
I can go through and see a lot of people that used to be talking and they're not talking anymore. And so I'm going to let you open it up, the whole thing, for the culture of fear, because that's really Prof's area, what he wanted to talk about. And y'all, in the comments, there are things that, let me just put it this way, there are things that we're not going to say. But if you bring it up in the comments, we can read your comment.
Yes, I
See
want
how
to.
that works?
Amen, Nicole.
Yes.
Amen.
So you go ahead. I've been talking for a
I'm
long
looking
time.
at some of these chats. Let me try to catch up to the current ones. And then we'll go. Kurtz and Ellis are both in prison for life. Wonder why one of them doesn't just take the blame. Or talk. Just talk about what you know. Remember, someone in here said something about Open Secrets, a YouTube channel.
Yes.
Yes. Everyone who doesn't already know should go find
Probably,
the Open
Tommy.
Secrets YouTube channel.
But everybody's probably
And
inadvertently
subscribe to it
working
and
for the
watch all of the
prosecution.
Garrett Kurtz and Chris Mathis type of videos. She did an amazing job. Actual journalism.
Yes.
Inadvertently or directly.
Yeah, that'll give you. I mean, yeah, some of it is mind blowing. I've often, but you know, this is the thing. I feel like Prof. It's like there. I feel like there were so many involved, even not in the actual maybe unaliving, but in who were there that day, who know, who saw, who were part of the group. I think that's a big part of our problem with Delphi.
Yep. So the question, do you have a pulse on the folks at Delphi? Did you know anything about Richard before his arrest? Hell no. No, but you know who did? Don Toretti and a bunch of people from Delphi on 4chan.
Yep.
And I've posted a lot of those receipts,
Heard about
and we'll
anything
post
he
more.
has done.
Okay. Lewis
Well,
says,
he's
Prof, I
probably
appreciate you bringing up Ron
you
Logan's
know.
suspicious death. Ron Logan did not die of COVID.
I don't know.
COVID. They made sure he was silenced before Rick.
It's all alleged.
Yeah, and I had speculated at one time that did Ron become a CI and was he relocated to Florida, because there's some
Just be
anomalies
careful,
around him, but
Tommy.
we're not going to get into all that conspiracy theory tonight. But yeah, let's
Yeah,
see,
we
now
should
what we're doing.
we should just do a whole series, Prof. The Delphi conspiracy.
The conspiracy theories, yeah.
Yeah, there's so many.
Mm-hmm.
So Steve Johnson's been hitting some amazing comments.
Yeah, where did
tonight
you
already.
go, Dee
He
Dee?
says all leads to and involves informants, in my opinion. Absolutely, Steve Johnson. I don't know where you're coming from. You're new to me. Maybe you're one of Silky's viewers, but yeah, you're doing amazing work with your
There you
questions
are.
here.
Okay,
and,
she's here, Chevy.
we're on the same page. I mean, I do feel it's just amazing to me that I feel that all of these deaths are centering around informants from who I call the cartel. Some people call the Kokomo crew. Remember that Silky mentioned all the
Oh, you're
suspicious
good.
death
You
statistics.
do what you need to do,
in
Dee Dee.
Kokomo, but you've also got to look at all the suspicious. The arson ratio in this part of the state is off the charts.
Yes.
It doesn't make sense. And I wish we have a special
That's
friend
okay.
here. She's kind of ducked out lately, but she is absolutely like up to date with all of that. And it's just mind-boggling how you could have such anomalies and people not looking into it, and how you could have all these deaths and people not looking into them as being possibly part of some domestic terrorist organization, who I think these people are. I think you mentioned the culture of fear, and I do want to speak to that, because we have all of these anomalous or suspicious deaths around this case. And someone asked earlier, and I didn't put it up, but they said, how does this relate to Abby and Libby? Well, I'll tell you how. We believe that it's this domestic terrorist cartel type of organization that traffics in drugs and people that are behind the deaths of Abby and Libby, and possibly the Flora girls. And it appears to us
Yeah,
that
Tommy,
all
that
of
is
these
us.
body count we've just showed you are possibly related to the same cartel. And you got to understand, how do cartels work? They operate through fear and intimidation. And so I like to say that they've established a culture of fear around Delphi, on the Delphi murders in Florida.
Meet Miller.
So what does that mean?
For sure. They brought him
It
up.
means
too.
in every way,
Yep.
whether it be the bodies that are the bodies surrounding this case, whether it be the like the showing of the thousands and thousands of bikers that showed up after the deaths of Abby and Libby, whether it's all of the trolling. Now, people know me. You guys know me. You know I go nuts about the trolling. And so let me read Radar's comment. I'll get back to that. Kyra was at festival the weekend before, I believe. Anthony Greeno got Kyra and Mark Green on video. Then Anthony Greeno announced she was missing.
Good to see you, Carlos.
Kay and
Hi,
Amy
Hoosier.
shared it. Kyra and Mark Green shared a child. Is that what you're saying?
How's it
Um,
going?
Wow. Hmm.
Okay.
Very interesting. And yeah, for
Never heard
those
of
that
Mark
don't
Green.
know, okay, if you're new to Delphi and you just know Richard Allen, you don't have the background of knowing about things that we've all looked at for the past long time, but especially the Franks motion that was never heard
Mm-hmm.
because Judge Gold would not allow it.
Yeah.
Now, the Franks motion, if you don't understand that, um, Franks is based on a case wherein you gather evidence illegally, basically.
Yeah.
It's either a lie, it's made up, or you gathered it illegally. So therefore, it can't be introduced into court.
Mm-hmm.
And they were saying the PCA, the probable cause, which led to his arrest, was, it was illegal. And if you dive deep into it, you will see that it is. But Judge Gold would never allow them to have a hearing on it because if they had a hearing on it, then the whole case would have been thrown out. But in that Franks motion, there were so many details of other perpetrators that are very, very suspicious. Okay, a lot of even physical evidence to the crime of Abby and Libby had nothing to do with Richard Allen that we know of. It had to do with a lot of these other groups and possibly the production of substances in that area, a whole lot of different people. Okay. So that's how all of this relates.
Yeah, it's actually Brooke
because
Hoosier.
if you're just looking at Richard Allen, you're going to say,
We're
okay,
working
well,
on
this doesn't
books.
relate to anything. But it does when you know the history of Carroll County and what's been going on.
Just wanted some company.
This I don't know about. Somebody says, please don't forget the Logan Sports 6 fire. That's something I don't know anything about. So
Logan
I'll have to look
Sports
into it. But thank you for
Hey.
bringing that. That's what we need from you. Everyone,
Yeah.
show us where to look. Help
Yeah.
us.
Samantha, email me. Let me.
There was
if you
like a
have link, email me.
Hutchinson's
Tammy
fire
Mark, thank you for
too.
the
The
comment and the super
Hutchinsons.
chat of keep up the good work. Thank you. We care. What were we saying here?
We were talking about.
I'm reading so many comments.
Well, I know. I appreciate it, and I'm afraid I'm going to miss something important, and I'm trying to go through here and make sure we're not being trolled too bad or anything like that. Oh, I have not adjusted fate. I have not included this one, but this was one of the ones, Prof, that I was talking to you about before we started the stream.
Oh, we forgot her, Cat Cole.
Yeah, I was like, okay, this is on the peripheral too, and I probably should mention this one.
Sorry about that. I would have wanted you to. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Is the Huddleston fire is the 6th?
Yeah,
Is that what
sorry,
you're talking
Hoosier.
about?
Yep. We're
That's what I know it. So yeah, I'm a little goofy.
going over the Delphi body count. This was from 11 months ago. So, of course, like we have more people now. But yeah, they're going over a very detailed list of a lot of people connected to a lot of suspicious things that got taken out. So, or perished,
When it comes to-
prematurely, too early.
Yes, that's
Oh,
a
here we
whole
go.
nother can of worms.
This is what I was looking for. Okay. Dan
Yeah,
Jones,
I
it's
love
the
this.
strategy of
Yep.
tension past the tipping point of fear to the average person shuts it all down. Yeah, that's what I wanted to say, okay? I wanted to say the trolling. What I'm getting at here is we're dealing with a domestic terrorist organization that's running the entire underground economy of the Midwest, especially right there locally in central Indiana. And I believe that part of the cartel tactics are always murders to silence, right? Because the whole thing is silence
gas station,
to
Amber
control the flow of
Bowls.
information.
Yep.
And I think that the interesting thing with this group is these
Good call.
organizations have learned to use the internet just like you and me, Silky, because
Mhm.
the internet enables things to go so much easier, life to be easier. You know, we can go on, we can buy groceries at Walmart, have them delivered without getting up out of our chair. And
Yeah.
message, I can talk to people around the world, and I do every day. And we can do lives. We can send money. I pay my rent through the internet. You know, so the old landlord, I don't have to drive to him. He doesn't have to drive to me. I don't have to put a stamp on anything. I just pay him through a Zelle. So these organizations have also learned that. It's obvious, and like I said, I know because they've told me. Some of my informants from within those organizations have said we moved from the streets onto the internet because it's easier to control things on the internet. And
Mhm.
so when I'm looking at all of the insane amount of trolling and death threats, intimidation and doxing and all of that surround this, like this basic culture of fear around the murders of two little girls, which makes no sense whatsoever, I back off from it and I
Well,
look at it as
and
just part of a
you know what
subset
was
of the larger
interesting
thing
too,
here.
guys? Like,
There is this culture of fear.
when it's first found out that the girls are deceased, the Indiana field office sends like the second in command. His name was Greg Massa, second in command to Jay Abbott at the time. And Massa shows up with 20 some agents. And that's kind of unheard of. Like, normally for a single death, they'll usually show up with four agents max. So, by those parameters, maybe they would have shown up with 8 max for 2 dead girls. But they showed up with 20. That day. Well, no, like that within 24 hours of the bodies being found. So, and Greg Massa's specialty was crimes against children. He also engaged in what is it? It's like cross runner, or there's a yearly operation that the FBI does, I'm sure with other federal agencies, that looks into and rescues victims of child trafficking. So I can't remember it now. But yeah, so it's interesting, right? That they're showing up immediately with, a pretty high up individual with a plethora of agents. And the specialty of the guy showing up is crimes against children. So that's something to keep in mind.
Here, and it's all the murders surrounding the cases.
Yeah.
It's all the doxing. It's the running people off of the internet. It's the harassment, the going after your family. And we even have Robert Fortson, who ended up another
Yep.
victim of all of this insanity around these cases. And,
Yeah.
in whatever way that's related, the
Didn't
fact
just
is
end
that
with
that's
admin.
another young girl or child who has to grow up without a father, a wife who has to grow up without a husband, and another needless
Well, and
death
Fortson liked to go to Disneyland or Disney World too.
just surrounding this double murder of Abby and Libby. And you have
Yeah.
to wonder what the hell is going on here.
And you were talking about moving everything to the internet. And my understanding now, I cannot vet this because I have never one day been on the dark web. But my understanding is a lot of transactions use cryptocurrency. So if you're using crypto to pay for things, then it's very stealthy, is what I'm saying. So I
Safe
understand why
child.
people
Yeah, maybe
would,
it was that, TJ. Maybe it was that one.
move their business to the internet. Um, and then, yeah, there's so many people, Prof. I know you get it all the time, and so do I, even from the beginning of talking about
Well,
Delphi a
thank you
couple of years
guys.
ago.
Thank you.
I have people reach out to me and tell me, I want to talk, but we don't talk in Delphi because we are afraid.
Mm-hmm.
We're afraid. And I know you said you've gotten that too, right?
Oh, the people who have been silenced, who reach out, yeah,
Yes.
they'll talk to me behind the scenes, but I
Mhm.
mean, I'm talking about big time YouTube creators talk to me and say, I'm not doing it because I'm afraid they're going to kill me.
Mhm.
Anthony Greeno and Mark got into an altercation. Then Mark called into Anthony's video and asked everyone to help find Kyra.
Oh,
Later
Mark
said she was
Green.
found, purse emptied in the van. There's someone had put it over her head. What the hell?
Oh my gosh.
It's just there's so many unbelievable deaths. I mean, I cannot. And
Yeah,
someone else, I think, was it
Florida.
Brittany? Someone said, I skipped over it, but someone said, maybe it was Ashley. Ashley Nudo said, this is just the tip of the iceberg. I agree. I agree
Mhm.
that we're just giving you the base, some of the basic common names that people talk about in this community as being peripheral deaths surrounding Delphi.
Right.
I'm sure there's a lot we don't know.
Mm-hmm.
And like you said in the beginning, Prof, a lot of the things that people call self-unalivings or an
Oh yeah.
overdose or
Oh,
something like that is not necessarily what it appears.
Hoosier. It's also in the Deconstructing Delphi playlist, and it's also this one too. That's the link to it. So yeah,
It's
I
just
want to
like
make sure to
that
give
the
them
woman,
definitely
oh my
props and
gosh, the
credit.
case, what's her
So
name, Greenberg? You know who I'm
I think
talking
it's good
about?
to
Who
refresh the
supposedly
memory.
stabbed herself.
Oh
She
yeah, yeah,
unalived
yeah.
herself by stabbing herself and in like even the back of the head 20
Doesn't make
times.
sense
Like,
at all.
yeah,
Yeah,
I'm like, oh yeah, sounds like it could have happened in Delphi,
Yep,
right?
exactly.
Ellen Green.
And
Um,
then the thing is, why isn't law enforcement starting to connect these? If YouTubers are starting to connect at least some of these, let's say if we have 15 or 20 we
They
just
don't
rattled off,
want to.
even if only 10% are related, that's two.
Mhm.
Why not go in and
yeah,
connect these two murders and then connect more and then
Yep,
and again and again and then you might
they
start
don't
to.
want to.
I mean, where's FBI? Is my question.
Yeah.
Been a
yeah,
lawyer a long time, and I think the guy is not guilty, and that seems to be the consensus among lawyers. Thank you, A to Z, and thanks for the super chat. They are shocked by absolutely. Where are the feds?
yeah. Well, they got kicked
You're a
off by
lawyer.
Doug Carter.
We're not even lawyers, and we can see, the people can see themselves. There's a clear bias, and that there's such a lack of evidence. It looks almost to me as if charges shouldn't have been brought.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Prof, if the Franks motion had ever been
Patsy.
heard, they wouldn't have been. They would have dropped the case. And
He's
and they would have had
Patsy.
someone else in jail. In my opinion, okay, in my opinion, if they had really taken to heart and looked at the evidence, which I believe they did, I believe that Ferenczi, who is no longer with us, absolutely, and Todd Click and the rest of them, absolutely knew. But it was
Mhm.
not followed up
Yeah,
on.
this is a
And
really
so
good
I
one.
believe that even if I can't say that I believe the Franks motion 100% as far as the whole way they put it together, but absolutely positively shows there were more people involved and a lot
Yeah.
more people with motive
And
and
that's a question
even
that I get to a lot
potential
too.
DNA that,
Like, why even so something happened that they needed to have a patsy, obviously. Because like there is no way this case was that strong to bring against Richard Allen. So why? Like, was it just the election? Was it just the election? Because like you're creating more issues for yourself by now having to frame a man in a very public way, where it's not even making sense, so that you're hiding and hiding and hiding. It's like all compounding on top of each other. So it is weird that it's like, why did you guys even bother arresting somebody? The best, smartest thing you could have done is not do that. You could have not arrested anybody and have it go unsolved. But for whatever reason, probably because, Liggett was afraid that whoever else was going to change up the guard and bring in the FBI. But, you know, you guys couldn't have done it any other way, you know? I don't know. Maybe the FBI, though, was already onto them if they're showing up with 20 agents right off the bat. Or maybe they are just that alarm that's like, oh, that's really weird. Why are there two girls killed ritualistically in rural America? You know, I don't know. Yeah, they're the ones hiding in plain sight. They don't even care. Amen, Nicole. Amen.
Whatever. And but here we are, because the judge, you know, decided, in my opinion, to just do away with due process and say, no, we're not going to hear the real evidence, the real things that are head scratchers and like, yeah, this looks pretty bad. No, we're going to go after Richard Allen, who has nothing, absolutely nothing.
Yep. Weird. But
Jerome and Pat Brown were seen at a stop sign.
It's okay. So this is just my opinion, right? Take it with a grain of salt. But like, I think the reason that they went after, I think they needed to find like the least criminally connected person in the area that could put himself on the bridge at that time, that could have relatively looked like bridge guy. And Richard Allen was pretty much the only, he is the best option, I guess, you know, especially if they're going to nail down the timeline to something that it probably wasn't, right? So they need a guy that's not going to lead back to any of their suspicious dealings. So find the most innocent person that could plausibly be the guy, which means that they were hunting for him. They were hunting for a Patsy for probably a couple of years. And if we look at what Daisy uncovered, that there's this one-of-one print job by Kathy Shank in late October 2019 that's printing a cleared lead of Richard Allen going, you know, talking with Doolin. To me, that says that could have been as early as October 2019 that they were looking into, excuse me, somebody being a Patsy. And if that's the case, then it wasn't just the election. I know this is probably getting hard to follow. Thank you. But yeah, this is probably getting a little difficult to follow. But then it's like, if it's 2019, the election for sheriff is not until 2022. There's no need to find a Patsy that early. So why? Why? Of course, we're jumping to conclusions. We're having to, you know, jump to the conclusion that they were in fact trying to find a Patsy. But it's like, why would you need to find one that early? And the only thing I can think of is that it comes back to Keegan Kline. Because Keegan Kline isn't arrested until August 2020. That's weird. That's 3.5 years. The only thing that happens in 2020 besides COVID, right? It slows everything down. Everything gets pushed back. But Keegan Kline gets arrested halfway through the year. It's like 3.5 years, basically, since he's first talked to. And they know he has CP on his devices in February of 2017. They already know this, but they wait 3.5 years to arrest him. And why do they do that? Because, like, you never would really use a guy like, yeah, so say you're a drug dealer. Yeah, you can use that guy to be your confidential informant. Or like a guy that, what are some other crimes that you can do? I don't know. I'm drawing a blank here, but you guys know what I'm saying, that like you would never really have a guy that is disseminating CP and CSAM be a confidential informant, right? Like nobody does that. Nobody does that, right? So, hi Mustang. But you guys, do you guys see what I'm saying? Like, I'm not crazy, right? Like, are you guys following what I'm saying? Because, like, it drives me crazy. It makes me feel like the only thing that's coming up is that Anthony Schatz is coming up because of the Keegan Klein arrest. But even then, after he's arrested, it's like another 13 to 15 months before they put out the Anthony Schatz presser. So something is that important for them to put out the Anthony Schatz presser that they have to do it. I think they're trying to find anybody that knows anything and make sure that they get to them before that person comes out and snitches. Right? Anybody? Hello. Okay, Lisa's following. Thank you. Thank you. I think Alan was supposed to be a Patsy even earlier. And I don't know why. Because they don't think it's just the election. And I forgot, 2020, Fouts has to resign in shame in June. And then 2021 comes along. It's not until halfway through 2021 that Doug Carter officially dismisses the FBI off the case in August of 2021. But the month before, in July 2021, Ferenczi is murdered. Ferenczi is murdered outside of that what would you call that? Like official building in Terre Haute. Like he is murdered on like police property by a former CO. A week after Ferenczi is murdered, a damning report is released about the handling of the Larry Nassar investigation, which shows that Jay Abbott knew what Nassar was doing and lied about what he knew Nassar was doing. And then a month later, Doug Carter is saying, I need to get back to this. Doug Carter, Federal Building. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Doug Carter is officially dismissing the FBI off the case, but in April of 2021, so even, what is that? It's August. So that's like, 4 months? 4 months before he officially dismisses the FBI in April 2021, Doug Carter is saying Delphi was never a federal case. Delphi was always a Carroll County case. Well, I don't know what you would call it then. It's a building where people are that are important and like it has like a fence around it. Like it's just weird. Anyway, so if we run through that, nothing makes sense. Nothing makes sense. I think, yeah, it was a field office. Oh, okay. Nassar put victims in a drop box. That's probably what they are protecting. Yeah. And then during the height of, holiday season, recent LA arrests are more low-hanging fruit. Yep. There are higher ups. Yes. They're coming for each other big time. Yeah. So the height of stupid ass holiday season. Sorry, I don't hate the holidays. I'm just like frustrated. That's when they put out the Anthony Shots presser in the middle of the night on YouTube. The humbug, yeah. I'm such a Scrooge. Oh, it must be the 5% Jewish heritage I have. No, I'm not an anti-Semite, guys. I don't know where people are getting that from. But anyway, so let's run through this again. So October 2019. Okay, well, how about this? April 2019. They're like, oops, this is the guy that we're looking for. This is the guy. We're looking. Oh, 2 years went by, and we were looking for an older guy. Oh no! This is the guy that we're looking for now. Okay. All right. So now they're looking for a younger guy, but they've been on a trail. They've been on this trail of looking for. Everybody's been on this like witch hunt for an older guy. But now it's magically a younger guy. They are listening to me. Oh, yeah, they are. Here, I'll stop. Here, I'm sorry. There we go. Okay, so I had their full attention. So now we're looking for a younger guy, right? We're looking for a younger guy magically, and nobody's supposed to be like, oh, that's weird. Oh, I guess we have to pivot. Nobody's really like upset by it, or we're not allowed to be, I guess. Because Doug Carter's like, you never thought we would take the high road and decide to do good investigative work, but we did. So it's just, oh my God. So anyway, they were captivated. They loved me. They loved my theory. They were like, spit it out. And then, so that happens in April. And then what? 6 months later, in October, late October, we're getting Kathy Shank printing out a 1-of-1 cleared lead typed up by Dan Doolin on Rick Allen. Okay. And then what happens? And then COVID hits, right? By March, the country is like in shutdown mode, et cetera, et cetera. And not very much happens except for mid-year in June. Shit hits the fan with Curtis Fouts. He has to resign for being a mega weirdo with the hanky-panky ladies club or whatever. And then literally, well, no. Because I don't fully remember. August 2020, Keegan Kline is finally fucking arrested. After 3.5 years. In February 2017, they know he has CSAM and CP on his phone and devices. And then they don't even like collect the devices and look at the devices until 2020. Yeah. Speechless. Should be so crazy. Yeah. They were shocked. They were enamored. It's so funny. Yeah, then you don't even look at it until, after he's arrested. Do you know how much time he had to get rid of shit then? Or to make sure all of his clientele was informed, and I don't know. That's speculation. I don't know. But then what we were in 2020. So then 2021 comes around. And in April 2021, Doug Carter is at some press conference yapping away, and he's like, "Oh, Delphi has never been a federal case. Delphi has always been a Carroll County case." It's like, what does that mean? Hint, hint, wink, wink. Go away, FBI. Beat it. Skadoodle. Scram. Okay. So then, 3 months later, early July, Ferenczi's killed outside of a field office, federal building where police hang out and stuff. A Molotov cocktail is thrown at the building. And Ferenczi magically, he knew that, we don't know that. It does seem like it was targeted, though. All the reporting seems to make it sound like it was targeted just for Ferenczi, but I don't know that. Anyway, because of course Meehan is, not fit to stand trial. Bullshit. So Ferenczi is killed a week later on the 14th. The NASA report is released. It makes Abbott look really bad. A lot of that field office has to go. And then a full flipping month later, that's when Doug Carter's like, "Yeah, I'm officially dismissing you from the Delphi case. Make sure that you turn over all your materials to us." I wonder when that's when the marathon footage gets corrupted, and all the other stuff that could have helped us. Oh, hi, Dave. Yeah. Yeah, move along. Nothing to see here. And then 4 months later, in early December, they're like, there's this thing, this Anthony Shots account that is connected to this guy that we arrested 15 months ago. But yeah, if you have anything, maybe come forward and talk to us about it. Why even bother? I think because they needed to find out who all knew about it and who all was connected so that they could clear up any, loose ends. Did more people end up dead magically then? I don't know. More accidental overdoses or whatever. Who are they? Yeah, coincidentally, ex-federal prison guard. Yeah. When we know that there's all this interconnection with prison gangs and Aryan people, whiteys. And then sometime, I don't even know. Sometime in 2021 through at least April of 2022, the Roblox is released. Just to make sure that people, in my opinion, are like, oh, no. We have to make sure that Bridge Guy is involved somehow. Everything comes down to there needing to be a bridge guy. We have absolutely nothing, guys. We have absolutely nothing. Without any sort of digital anything, we have nothing. So it's like, we can't know where anybody was at any given point ever until we get to see the flipping phone data. But of course, the first thing that they decide to lose, or they happen to lose coincidentally, are all the interviews of the families and stuff. But it sounds like they don't even take like the phone records from like Derek or Kelsey. It's like, what's the point then, guys? What is the point? And we know the FBI did do the geofencing. So where is it? Oh, did they turn it over to Doug Carter and then did it magically disappear in August 2021? How convenient. Sorry, guys. Sorry. We need to get back to the show. Did anybody ever recall or retain that interview with Becky when she described the conversation between the girls after she was allowed to view that video? And I know what you're talking about, Shay. And you know who would have had that footage is probably little Joe Lewis. You aren't the only one. Little Joe Lewis more than likely had that up. Yeah. Hi, good to see you too. To Abbott and Nasser. Abbott actually retired in 2018. So like he got his full pension and everything, even though like he was gonna retire and he was like vying to be on, I think, the Olympic gymnastics board committee or something. And then Nasser's in prison, I think, for the rest of his life. Let me see. But in the meantime, like when Abbott first learned about Nasser, and Abbott also, Jared Fogle, the subway guy. Yeah, that was under Nasser's watch, or under fucking Abbott's watch. Sorry. Nasser in 2015 and 2016 is when Abbott first learns about him. And he decides to do nothing about it. And Nasser goes on to abuse 70 some more people and kids. Yeah, Fogel was 2015 too. I think his case was a little bit before Nasser. Let me see what happened to Nasser though. Convictions. November 22nd, 2016, Nasser was indicted on several state charges. Damn. Oh my God. Oh my God. Wow. On January 24th, 2018, Judge Rosemarie Aquilina of Ingham County sentenced Nasser to a minimum of 40 to a maximum of 175 years in prison for the sexual assault of minors. Upon release, Nasser would have to register as a Michigan sex offender for the rest of his life. Motherfucker better never get out. Ew, he's down in Arizona. Oh, okay, good. In Oklahoma. Oh no. Oh my God. Whoa. Yeah, I guess in 2023 he was stabbed 10 times. Since federal inmates must serve at least 85% of their sentences before being eligible for time off for good behavior, he is presently not eligible for release until January 30th, 2068, when he will be 104 years old. So, damn. That is a book. That is a book. So,
14. Get the fuck out of here.
Hmm.
Do we have any receipt of that? Can you email one of us a receipt of that?
180.
I mean, that's a red flag right
Wow.
there. And then
That's crazy.
well, I'm not going to say anything else.
Yeah.
No, but the fact that this attorney who just commented A to Z, like I said, we're not even lawyers, and we can clearly see that there's something that's not right here.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Right. And I mean, it's like I said earlier, you can put stuff in the comments, we can read it. But, Prof, you and I are in a long list of Delphi creators. We're still standing. But how many people have been so harassed and so threatened that they stopped? And like I said, no shade and no shame for doing that. You protect your family. But it's, we're just, here I am in a different state in front of, a camera. I don't have to live in Delphi. And I've said that from day one. I can say stuff because I don't have to live there.
Thank you, Aaron Town. Blaine Nelson. Question for you guys. Was Blaine Nelson in discovery for the Delphi murders?
I don't know.
Was
even know who
Blaine
Blaine
Nelson
Nelson
I don't know,
in discovery
Tommy.
for the Delphi murders? And why? And why is he dead?
Oh, yeah,
Wait,
before
okay.
that?
There
That's
are many people
awesome.
who have died that have been affiliated. Yes. Or like
Yes.
like Silky says, they have had to go away and disappear because they don't want their lives ruined.
Okay, you're going to have to stop for a second, Prof, because I don't know who Blaine Nelson is.
Well, methamphetamine. Like that. I'm glad you asked that because that's another thing about this entire group that we're discussing. Every single one of them
Silky is awesome.
is tied into the methamphetamine game. They're all tied into the meth game in the counties. Matter of fact, cannot be argued. Even the victims' families, both Abby's family and Libby's family.
Yeah, if y'all didn't know that, if you're new, yes, that is 100% true. Both families have involvement.
I mean, look, there's no one here
blaming.
wanting to be
Not blaming.
angry at the victims or the victims' families, but we want to tell you the truth. And we're seeing all these deaths and all of this fear surrounding this case. And one thing that we're seeing is there's a lot of meth around this case, and it's two little girls.
Mm-hmm. And that's honestly, which I'm not going to necessarily bring it up, but there are more elements than just meth, like you and I talked about earlier.
There's that too. Yeah. There's a lot of the sex. I mean, look, let's be real. The sex clubs are a thing. Okay. Now, meth and sex go together. Okay. The way it started was with the homosexual community back in the day. Okay, it was a known thing to add the meth to the sex, and it was a thing, and that spread into heterosexuals uh, coming on into the past 20 years. And so, as we know from some of the whistleblowers in the Carroll County area, there were the sex clubs that were a prominent thing, a
Mhm.
prevalent thing among a bunch of the prominent people. And for instance, Anna Downham was part of that,
Yeah.
and she's one of the victims now.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay. She is the one who died with John McCurdy, who you were discussing earlier. So there's an undeniable thing that's going on. That's why I call it a criminal underworld cartel type of thing, because you got sex from the sex industry, and you got the meth trafficking, and a lot of that is facilitated by the biker clubs.
Yeah.
Um, I know.
And I think
I'm.
it's a terrorism. I call it terrorism.
Yeah. I'm way behind in chat. I'm trying to catch up because while you were reading, while I was talking, now I'm trying to read. But yes, I agree, Samantha. I do.
I'll get
I'm
back
gonna
to
get it.
putting things on the screen. I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. I mean, I am too.
Put
And sometimes, understand, I might put something up there and not comment on it, but I put it up there so people can see it. Okay. Um, Somebody was talking about the same FBI that they're talking about Nasser and Epstein. Yeah,
I saw that. Yeah, they allowed it.
yeah,
Well, I
and
really do think that this is what we're going to see. I think after we get a verdict in Delphi, we're going to see the turning over of a leaf. Okay, a new leaf. I'm so glad you're doing a live on Delphi Body Count related to this case. This needs to be talked about more. Appreciate you speaking on. Very important. Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah, I think we're going to see the turning over of a
Yes.
new leaf once we get over this speed bump here.
yeah. Well, I think what we're saying too, and I know you said you've been saying it more. You keep up with people,
Good
I
night.
guess, more than I do. I keep up with my crowd,
Sleep
my
well.
subscribers who message me and stuff like that. But I don't
May
have a
I
lot
get
of
some
time
C's?
to spend looking at other things. But your opinion
Same
is
thing, Owl.
there's problems in the enemy camp already because of the trial, and if Richard Allen is found not guilty, wow, then guess who the spotlight's going to be on?
Them. They're
I
dumbasses.
mean, it's going to go all back to. Of course, it's going to be. Well, I say that either way. If he is found guilty, then I'm going to say we're going to appeal, and the rest of us, no matter
Yeah.
what, we're not
Yep.
giving up.
Yeah.
We're not giving up on Abby and Libby,
Yep.
and we're not giving up until the right person is in jail.
Good.
So, I mean,
We
yeah.
love you,
But
Silky.
now people see we have a lot more knowledge since the arrest of Richard Allen, and I hate that it happened that way. But if it weren't for things that the defense has brought out that was not brought into the trial, but that we know about,
Sleep well, Nancy.
I'd say they would
You're
have stayed
Canadian too,
hidden,
so you're a werewolf.
like pretty much like they had been. But now, Prof, there's so much out there. The little rats are starting to jump ship, I think. Don't you?
Yes, and you know what I think? Now, I go back and forth with Doug Carter, but I think that we're going to reach a point very, very, very soon where Doug Carter might fulfill his word that
We're Prof.
they're going to go back to the beginning
Oh, God.
and start all over. And I would say, especially if you get a not guilty verdict, I believe you're going to see them go back to the beginning and start all over. And
Carter's
that's
Yeah.
what's needed, in
Carter's
my
a
opinion.
slippery
I mean,
one.
look at how poorly everything was done in the first place.
Right. What kind of case? I don't even understand how you bring to trial a case where the first 70 days of recordings were
Yeah.
it not even documented on a ledger who came in so you could even call them back. The first 70 days of
Yeah.
everything is just, gone. Oopsie. How does you even proceed with a case like this? To
65%.
me, that tells me one thing.
That's
That
pretty
I
impressive.
don't believe, Prof, for 1 second that those interviews were just lost. Oops, it wasn't recording. Whatever. We accidentally deleted. I don't believe it. It's pure out horse pucky. I'll never believe that.
I
And I
love
hope
you,
the jury
Silky.
doesn't.
No,
Horse
I think it's all corruption. I think they deleted what was bad for the actual perpetrators so that they could continue to frame who they wanted to.
Yeah.
But
Exactly.
that's my theory here so far until we learn.
Allegedly.
Yeah. And I do believe that
It's all good.
if they want to do right by the public, they will go from the very beginning. And if the suspects that were mentioned in the Frank's motion, if they're not guilty, then fine. They have a lot of explaining to do. I'll say
Yeah, they
that.
do.
But
Amen, Sophie.
if they weren't the actual perpetrators, then
Does this hat
at
make
least
me
it
look
gives us
guilty?
a step to go in. Okay, interview them again. Let's find out. Let's start, because I'm telling you something. These 4 officers that worked so hard on this case in the beginning and really, really felt like they knew that this was going to be solved. They had the right people. You're going to tell me that 4 officers were wrong, but they weren't ever allowed to, that theory never came up. So you're telling me you're law enforcement, but you don't believe the people investigating? That's insane.
Well,
why do they have a job?
I honestly think Todd Click was targeted, just to bring us up to date.
Girl,
you cannot tell me that Todd Click was not specifically targeted,
right,
for pissing off the local prosecutor and law enforcement investigators, etc. Because
100%.
he testified in that March,
Amen,
I believe it was in March, in that hearing.
Islam.
And and it was really bad for these people.
Yeah.
And then immediately, I believe they set up an operation to get him targeted, like saying they set up a few people. Here's what I imagine happened. He pissed them off in March. They put together a team of a few people and they said, we're going to go through with a fine-tooth comb through his job. We're going to find something. We're going to go through every client he had any contact with whatsoever. We're going to go through his logbooks. We're going to go through his everything that had to do with his job.
Yeah,
we're going to find something he did wrong so that we can bury him.
How are you?
And they went and they found a couple paperwork errors. And I think even a next step is, I think they even compelled one of the individuals to add some extra on, kind of like Liggett did to Richard Allen. And they got just enough to go and get an arrest warrant just to fuck with him. And that infuriates me. And it's similar to what we're saying. It's to instill fear, to show people you're not going to mess with us without suffering some kind of consequence.
Yeah.
100%. I mean, I thought that when I first heard about it. I mean, it's a theory. We can't say that this woman isn't telling the truth, but strange how it happened right before the trial, right?
Yeah.
It's mighty suspicious. A lot of things happen right before something is going to be exposed.
Yeah.
And I believe if Todd Click had been able to take the witness stand, I think it would have really, really devastated the prosecution. Not that it was that great to start with, but in my opinion.
Well, there's a double blockade because they did it to him to ensure that, and then they had the judge ensure it as well. So it's like 2 layers of obstruction,
Right. Yeah.
It's infuriating.
Remember
I think
when
if
Gull
people
like
who are
got
new to the
sick or
case go
something?
back and they look at all of the things that have
It was
happened
weird.
since Richard Allen was arrested and all of the motions that were never heard, all of the things that were just, the Judge Gold just denied, denied, denied. I think
Yeah, that's
people would
true.
be
Cool channel, yeah.
shocked and horrified to know what evidence
Computer
has been withheld.
wanted to pay.
I mean,
I don't know.
if you even
Penalty
didn't believe that
investigations.
Richard Allen was being railroaded in the beginning, like 2 years ago, early on, I was like looking at this and I'm like, no, this is not making sense. So somebody make it math for me. But so I quickly jumped off the Richard Allen is guilty train because there were too many things that didn't make sense. But
It's because you're smart,
now,
so
I mean, going back now, looking at all of the things that were never heard before,
it's because you're an angel.
I cannot. I hope everybody in Indiana does something after this trial because look, it's like I say on my channel all the time, it's not just about Richard Allen. It's about you and me if all the states decide to behave in this manner.
Amen.
It's about due process and the right to a fair trial. And in Indiana, whether you think he's guilty or not, I hope that you want to keep the standards for fairness in the judicial system because if it's you or your children or your best friend or whomever, you want them to get due process. And I am hoping that the people of Indiana can see this and that they will, start an outcry for justice in the justice system.
Amen.
Yeah.
It's
And look at what they did to Stephanie Thompson. I mean, I totally believe that was to silence her.
absolutely.
She knew too much. Remember, she did all of the polygraphing, and that means she knew shit, and she knew which was true, and knew what was a lie. And then Monday here is mentioning the Marathon gas station and Amber Bowles.
Yeah,
You know?
both. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what's crazy though about I was thinking about this today. For y'all old in the Delphi case, the Marathon gas station, when the crime was committed, Marathon, there's not a whole lot in Carroll County, and there's not a whole lot of stuff in Delphi. It's a very small town. And Marathon gas station, they're like, okay, we're going to look at the video because if it's an outsider, you're like, whatever, we may be able to find somebody who came into the marathon, that we didn't know about. Possible person of interest. Let's just see. This is a busy place. Strangely enough, the video, for those who don't know, of the Marathon gas station that day, they took and they put it on a thumb drive and they gave it over. And was it the FBI or the ISP, whoever said, "Oh, this is corrupted. We can't use this. This file is not right." Okay, that can happen. So they go and they take the original from the marathon. So they say the original video.
Right.
And wouldn't you know it, that one's corrupted too.
They disappear it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just
Just
gone.
like they disappeared
Right.
17
Correct.
days. Like think of how much you can accomplish in a day.
Hmm.
Oh my God,
Yeah.
70 days of interviews
Accomplishing
disappeared.
ever.
Right.
Come on now.
But did you ever think it's weird, though, tying the Florifier in? Okay. Galen Rose, who is the mother of the 4 children that died in that fire, worked at the marathon, right?
Yes, true.
Well,
Yes.
did she?
Yeah, Galen worked there.
I think she worked at the one
And
in
then, of
Florida,
course,
though, right?
since November, I don't think she ever went back to work there. Like, she ended up moving out of the area. But how odd is it that you have these 2 crimes with children that have not been solved, and you have this meet point at the marathon?
Well,
And
also remember the marathon is just 2 blocks from Riley Park, and there's so many connections to Riley Park, and people
Yeah, I
theorizing,
think it's a different
including the fact that
marathon.
Tobe Lesenby was parked in Line Riley
I
Park
think Galen
at this
worked
very
at the one in
moment.
Florida.
And and you can access the trails from Riley Park. And there's even some allegations that the girls were at Riley Park at some point. So
Mm-hmm.
makes you wonder, like, what was the point? Were people rendezvousing at Riley Park and then perhaps passing by the cameras at Marathon or stopping over? Like, what would be the purpose of destroying the evidence
Yeah.
from Marathon that places certain people at certain times?
Yeah.
Right.
Why do you got to get rid of all the evidence?
Yeah,
of
because
where
that
people
evidence
have
was
been?
lost early in this before Rick Allen was even a thought in this case. That disappeared. So yeah, you have to wonder what in the heck.
Person in
What's up with the marathon? I think maybe, and maybe it was just the cars passing by, but obviously, in my opinion, there was something on that marathon video that somebody didn't want seen.
It had to go. It had to go. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Think about what had to go. For me, my conspiracy mind right now says everything that was pertinent had to go, because then they can accomplish the bamboozle.
the
Right.
great bamboozle.
Right. Um,
Um,
and when you have this many people who, like we started, you have this many related deaths to one case.
It's
I mean, what is
ridiculous.
even the percentage? Because Delphi has less than 3,000 people.
so that's
And
another mind-boggling aspect.
yeah,
And I see we haven't even mentioned this about Diener. So the judge who was assigned, he steps down. Not only that, the prosecutor steps down. You know,
Well, but didn't Ives retire in like
right. And
2018?
I've read so many things and listened to so many interviews. And really, one of his, Robert Ives was the original prosecutor, one of his first interviews. I've listened to that over and over and over. And the way he talks is just, I think he is kind of flabbergasted to know that this case wasn't solved. He thought it would be solved in a week. So obviously he knew something. You wouldn't just say that on a case like, well, we have no suspects. We really don't have anything. It could be a hot minute. No, he said, to quote him, he said you didn't even need the digital stuff. He said it should have been solved in a week with old-fashioned police work. That's what the prosecutor
another
said.
very mind-boggling statement he made, and people forget, but I always want to remind people is because the bodies were found so immediately after they were killed, blah 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 blah
Hmm.
blah. And it's like,
Yeah,
what?
exactly.
Who would say that to mean 18 or 20 hours? You wouldn't say that. You would say that to mean 5, 10, 20 minutes, I think,
Yeah,
You sound
or
like
within an hour.
Brad,
I would say
Mr.
within an
Cool
hour.
channel name.
That to me would be immediately. Of course, I've had people argue that point, saying, oh well, immediately can be even within a couple days because cases do drag out. I don't. He's a prosecutor. I don't think he would have used those words if he didn't mean them. And yeah, he stepped down, which is
Okay.
insane. You step
Prosecutor
down
and
from
judge both step down.
yeah,
And
and
then
if you're
he
gonna
refused to come and take part in this
There's
trial.
so many
Remember,
people
Sylvie?
that know the law.
yes,
Yeah.
and if y'all, well, people
Yes,
outside of the
they
jury
are.
probably know, but if you don't, they tried to get Robert Ives to testify, and he wanted it quashed, and the judge is like, okay, you don't have to testify. Wow, really?
Yeah, she's just green lighted every
Hi.
single
Good to
roadblock.
see you.
Yeah, it's insane, and that is yeah. Talk about red flags. Yeah, that is absolutely. Um,
How's it going?
and if you are looking at
We're
similarities
just
between
watching an old
Delphi and
live
Flora,
stream
think, Prof, about how
on
many
the Delphi
people
Body
in
Count.
Flora stepped down from their positions after the Flora fire, right?
True, 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 true.
It seems to be what happens in Indiana. There is something suspicious, a suspicious death,
Yep.
and if you I don't know if they're even involved, but if you know something, the best thing that you can do is just step down out of that position, go away, excuse me, and take another position, because they don't want to, Flora is still unsolved. And also, for those who don't know about Flora, there was a 911 call. Listen to this, y'all. There was a 911 call that, we pay for 911. We should have access to 911 calls. But Flora did not want that 911 call released. So they said no. So even when Fox
Didn't
59
they finally release it
took them
too,
to
guys?
court and said, hey,
Didn't they
we
finally
want
release that
this, like,
phone call?
people, this should be public access. All right. We want this. They sued them. And look, Flora still, this is your justice in Indiana. To this day, the 911 call from the Flora fire has not been released.
Right.
That, to me,
Well,
is
I think it's been
insanity.
released now.
What would be the reason to block that? Think about it. You've got a
Yeah.
fire that they say they know nothing about how it started.
Good job, Hoosier.
You've got 4 little dead girls. Why is a county spending $60,000 to block that 911 audio from release? Like, what could possibly be on that audio
Nova Scotia or something?
Right.
that would
How are
be
you that
worth
far ahead?
$60,000
It's only 12:40
to
here.
keep from the public's ears?
Yeah. And for those of you who don't know how Delphi and Flora cross, it is said that there is a very good chance, and I've heard some people say
It's a
it
rerun.
definitely
Yes,
is true,
it's a rerun.
that Libby knew
Yep.
the Flora girls, and some of the Flora girls were very involved in sports, as was Libby. Look, you're talking about towns very close together in the same county. Of course, you're going to know people on other teams and other places, and then there's the internet. So it crosses, Delphi and Flora cross so many times with the people involved that people have speculated, did Libby know something about Flora? Was she silenced? I mean, you don't know. It's Carroll County. Who the heck knows what they're covering up? But when you're having something like a 911 call, why? And I'm definitely going to talk about Flora closer to the
Why is it so
anniversary.
far
I
ahead?
know the verdict hopefully will be in, and so
Hope you feel better, Stephanie.
that'll be a good time to bring up Flora,
I'm sorry.
especially how it relates. But y'all, it is probably, I don't even know. I would say in many ways it's even worse than Delphi, and definitely as convoluted as Delphi.
Talking about Judge Diener making, that was the bloodlust, mentioning the bloodlust, where he stepped down, and then nobody, nothing says Ives is a biatch for not testifying. I agree.
Amen.
What the hell is wrong with you, dude?
Yeah.
I'm saying he's still scared. I think he stepped down because he was scared, because of the culture of fear, because of, look at the death count that we just named, and look, we don't even know. We only know what we've heard, what people have brought to our attention over the past years. This
I
is
love you,
related.
Brian.
Right, exactly. We only know what people have brought to us.
Because I don't live in Delphi.
Good. Don't live in Delphi.
Thank God. At this point, I would not live in the whole state of Indiana anywhere.
No, don't.
Look, to those
Don't
of you who
stop
do,
in Indiana. Don't look at it too long.
State back after this, I really do.
Here's someone.
There's some serious house cleaning that needs to be done in Indiana.
Oh, thank you. Yay.
Let's see.
It's good
I'm
to see you.
this stuff too.
Good to see all of you guys. Thanks for coming and hanging with me.
Speaking of DC, I'm on the fence. I'm on the fence, I think, mostly because EOA has a lot of faith in Doug Carter.
I know.
I have a lot of faith in EOA.
And in the states,
but on my own,
shot.
I have no faith in Doug Carter.
Sucks.
Because of the people that he associates with. Somebody brought up Abbott earlier. Yes. Just saying, Abbott and DC are good friends.
Yeah.
And that was said in a interview. You can still find it. It's on my channel.
I mean, I think there
Yeah.
it is.
So there you go.
Been several judges.
Do I
that have
trust
been,
anybody in this case? No, not a one.
But I don't know.
Is there anybody that
I
you
know
believe,
there's a
Prof?
Kentucky judge that was murked, and I don't know much about it, so I'm not going to say much about it. But
I'm waiting for the feds to step in. I'm saying, look,
I don't even trust them.
there's
well,
got
honestly.
to be
yeah, that
good
kind of
cause
right.
for RICO.
I'm not in
I've looked
embroidery.
into it, how
I'm
RICOs
sewing
work.
in
I've studied it thoroughly.
book
I've posted a
signatures.
lot of it on my community pages.
Yeah,
We are ticking all the boxes
sewing in the
for
book
RICO with
signatures.
Delphi. So what's going on? Is it just that they're waiting, or they're just waiting till
Sewing
maybe
in.
after this? Like what is actually going on?
Yeah,
I mean, I'm just assuming there's
well, it's
gonna be
it
something
looks like a
done,
mess, but it
but
goes in the book.
if
Like,
not, I mean, like I've been encouraging my viewers,
it'll end up looking like
demand it. It's time to demand it. You write
Yeah.
letters,
Mhm.
you email them on to your local FBI, you email them on to the Carroll County FBI, to the ISP,
what Prof
to
says.
the
Do it.
senators, representatives,
Be
to
annoying
your
as
own
fuck.
sheriff, to the Carroll County
Everyone.
sheriff. You send emails, demand something must be done, because
Peaceful
I think
protests.
the public outcry is going to be the only pressure that
Yeah.
actually has effect. And
There's
I
a
think
guy
that,
that's always.
see, they never anticipated the number of eyes on this case.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Not at all.
There's always a guy in the stream that's like, yeah, you could like pee in their car. Oh yeah, it's tedious, Stephanie. I'm not loving it, but you know. But yeah. What were we talking about? We were talking about, I don't know. Oh yeah. Kevin Mullins. Okay. Yeah. Running a brothel. Yeah, and I don't know if he's like, if that was true or not. I don't know if he was like, if the sheriff was like suffering from delusions or not. The judge instructed, she threatened me. What? Wow. That's crazy. Yeah, I don't like that. What were we talking about? I'm sorry, guys. Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm going to go back to playing it. Sorry. There we go.
No.
So maybe it'll work. What's up, Freckle Joy? Thank you for the super chats.
Hi, Freckle Joy. Yeah, that's the thing, Prof.
Yeah.
Is they did not expect this case to blow up, and now no matter what the verdict is, I mean, of course, if he's found guilty, we're all going to be talking about appeal, and all that kind of stuff, which is great for Richard Allen, and I want to see justice for him, absolutely, but it doesn't give me justice for Abby and Libby.
No.
So the only thing that is going to change that is you. And you all do not understand how much power you have. Any social media,
Amen,
Facebook,
Sophie.
Instagram, whatever, TikTok, and then
Oh, what happened?
like Prof said, writing in, like even doing peaceful protests, like
Even the
stand
White
outside the
House.
Capitol. Yeah.
Yeah, you can write the White House. I've done it before. It's easy.
Yeah, what
Put it. You
happened,
can
guys?
put an envelope, write a letter, and print it, and send it on to the White House.
I mean, there are tons of people that know about
Was
this
that an
case,
accident,
but now
TJ?
I think, Prof, there are so many that are new and are seeing corruption that they have never seen before. And
Sophie,
it's
I
horrifying.
love Sophie.
I mean, I read it on X. I read it from people in my chat. You know,
Wow.
now a lot of people's eyes are being opened, which I'm
So
sure
crazy,
is the very
Shanae.
last thing Carroll County wanted to happen. It was bad enough when you had 100 YouTubers out here, talking about this case for the last how many years? 7 years. So almost 8 years. I mean, but now there are other people who are aware, and the power is in your hands. We get on here, there's only one of us, and yes, there's
Sorry,
all of
Google
you in the
channel. I
chat, but
think
just
something
imagine
just accidentally
the
happened.
people in the chat taking action. And like, you have far more power than we do to make a difference. And I
I'm
hope
telling you,
that,
right
Spencer,
now, you
Elliot
know what's
Spencer,
interesting,
yeah.
Libby, I've been watching is
Yeah, I think it
Twitter is
was just
blowing up.
accidental.
Twitter
Sorry,
is blowing up
Mhm.
with Delphi right now.
Yes,
People are
it is.
shouting the truth from the rooftops in Twitter. So Twitter's becoming like an amazing venue for the public's, feelings
Twitter is also
and thoughts
evil.
about it. But
It's evil.
it's just one place. So, it's almost like
Probably
every place
I
has to
noticed,
have
yeah.
this outcry.
Corruption
Yeah.
does begin at the top.
And
that's true.
definitely, if you are in the state of Indiana, I mean, this should be something that you are absolutely, behind, because it's your life.
It's
I
scary.
was gonna say, hey, Sleuthy Goosey, good to see ya.
Not solve these
And there was
She's
somebody else
here.
crimes.
I don't see her
Yeah.
yet, but hey, Sleuthy.
Yeah, she's up a little bit.
Not
I'm all
solve
over the
crimes
place with the
against
comments, y'all, because I'm trying to make sure I don't miss anything
These are people.
that we really need to talk about. Yes, who said
Yeah.
it?
Yep.
I can't remember who said it. Oh, Linda Garris. Crime Night is also awesome. I love Joe Lewis. And look, I want to tell you something about Joe Lewis. He has always been so very gracious to me if I wanted to use clips of his or
Yeah.
whatever.
He's got a lot, but
Look,
he took
I,
it
I
all down.
believe,
So
I
don't
know
know if he had
some
that
people
backup.
you have different opinions on Joe, but I'm going to tell you something. I think Joe is a great guy, and I think his heart is in the right place, and definitely he is out there to help people who want to spread the truth. And you won't get that from every creator. A lot of creators are just they're something else, Prof, you want to use
Yeah, you
something?
know what else?
And
He's a great speaker too. I wish I had the quality of voice he has and of
yeah.
way of being able to speak. Because I'm not so
I
happy
re-
with my public speaking
I really
skills,
like
so
Joe Lewis, but he
Me
gave
we
me
are where
bad
we are.
anxiety.
Yeah.
He was
you
always
get what you
yelling.
get. You get
I
the
try
I'm
my
like,
best.
oh my God.
I've got the squealy
But he
voice
always
and the
had
southern
really
accent.
good.
Sorry. It
See
is what
this,
it is.
Carrie? What
He always
Carrie's
did
saying
really
here
good
now,
work
I'm
and had
so
really
glad
good
she said
footage.
this because I've been saying this. What will the jurors think when this is all fucking over and they have the chance to go back and research this case deeply? Because I know if it were me and I had to make a decision on someone's fate, and then I came
You
out
would
and
think.
I realized how much was kept from me, like the
Mhm.
way this judge has
Yeah.
done and this prosecutor, I would be furious. And I'm telling you now, those jurors don't have non-disclosure agreement. Those jurors are going to come out of this case, they're going to wake up and they're going to be furious. And so
Yeah.
good on them
Yeah.
because Carroll County deserves everything
I
they
wish
get. When
jurors
these
had
jurors come
been.
out and realize what's been done to them.
I would have been
It's not
pissed.
just an assault on Abby and Libby and not just an assault on Richard Allen. This is an assault on those 12 jurors.
Yes.
It's manipulative. It's a crime. And
Yeah.
I call it obstruction of justice by everyone from Judge Goal on down, and they all deserve whatever they get. Pardon
I
me.
agree. I agree. And I also think even if they find him not guilty, and a part of them,
We shall
I guess
see.
as a juror, if you really don't know, you're
Nobody
always
ever gets
hoping
to
you
come
made
off
the right
this.
decision.
Me
And
too.
if I were a juror and I said not guilty and not really knowing 100%, if I got out and started researching the case, I would feel relieved. So they're either going to be relieved or they're going to be furious. But one way or another, I believe those jurors are going to look into this and, yeah, be horrified by the evidence they were not able to
I
see.
wish that was true.
We've talked about it for years. And so to us, this death count that people didn't realize when I started naming names, it's like, well, what's this got to do with anything? Well,
Did they mention Hoosier?
because we've been in
first-
Delphi so long that we these names are very familiar to us and how they relate. And so then when you see the unusual deaths, you're like, oh, who was talking? Who was,
A lot of deaths. And remember, Garrett is a serial killer. Okay. Really.
Multiples, yeah.
A lot of these names we mentioned are killers, and some of them are serial killers. Anyway, I don't want to go too far off the deep end, but it's
Yeah.
something is wrong here, and I think everybody knows. I mean, look at our audience tonight. Okay,
Oh,
people know
yay. Hey.
that they've been lied to, and that something is awry in Delphi. Something stinks.
Yeah. Yeah. And I feel like that's one of the reasons I wanted to do this particular
Why?
live stream, is to make people understand, the new ones, that look, this is not, as much as we're here for justice for Abby and Libby,
That's pretty
this
cute.
is not just about them. Do you see what's happening in Carroll
Thanks
County
for sharing
and
that.
the counties around in the state of Indiana? Do you see what's happening? Because
That's pretty cute.
this isn't the time to shut your eyes. And I've said it, and people have confirmed to me that it goes way higher.
You are
way higher.
should be.
Possibly even out of the state of Indiana, and I'm just going to leave it at that for right now. But yeah, these are things that it should be transparent, and I know somebody was referencing the 911 call of Flora again, but yeah, you tell me why a government can be so corrupt. The dollars that come out of your taxes to keep these people in jobs are refusing you the information you're paying for already.
Yeah.
And the state just says, "Oh, we don't care if
they don't
we're
have
sued." It went high up. There's a long story with that. It went several layers, but in the end result is that we have no 911 call, and
I'd be
this should
embarrassed
be
and cold.
concerning.
Yeah.
And scared.
And what the hell could be on that call?
They'd be like really torn. I'd be like, I need to tell people.
What, are you going to say who did it?
But then,
hey, this guy's out here. What was it going to be? The screams of the victims? Well, what's wrong with hearing that? Because maybe it'll wake people the fuck up and get them to come in and do something about these 4 babies that got killed.
Yeah.
Like, what's on those recordings where the county itself has to cover their own ass
yeah,
and spend tax dollars to keep
Nicole.
it secret? Just like that's why we say the veil of secrecy that's been thrown over, cast over both Delphi and Flora and a bunch of these deaths is absolutely unacceptable. And there's no excuse for it. Just like there's no excuse for these no camera in the courtroom, and you have this circus transpiring outside of the courthouse right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
No cameras in the courtroom. As easy it would be to have a single what do you call it? Media pool camera. You could have a single court-controlled media pool camera in that damn courtroom. Mm-hmm. And you could have put out a lot of these fires that are starting now, and a lot of this circus that's disrespecting the memory of Abby and Libby outside of that courthouse could have been done away with. Sheer transparency. But now instead, you've got a circus, you've got more secrecy. It's more of the same. It's absolutely we lose our minds and people wonder why.
The truth that was scripted.
I'm not sure what that means, but thank you. I'm gonna look into that. Do you know?
Should be here missing a brain?
No, I don't. But I wanted to say that I'm glad I kind of brought myself to this point of the discussion, because I didn't want to forget this, and this is a good thing that we don't often talk about. But it's the narcissistic crazy making that's part of this as well, because see, it's been done on every level. It's been done by the judge, the prosecutor, the sheriff, all the people and the family and everyone, and on down to the troll farm. Okay, is the narcissistic crazy making. What I mean is, they do this shit to infuriate you, to drive you to the point of insanity. And then what they do when you react and you lose your mind and you freak out about it, then they say, "Oh, Prof's caught the Delphi mind virus. Silky's caught the Delphi mind virus. Sleuty Goosey's caught the Delphi mind virus.
Anybody that's exposed to this.
Joe Lewis is unhinged. He's caught the Delphi mind virus. When you have caused it, People are rationally responding to the narcissistic crazy making, and you call them crazy. Am I right or am I wrong?
Oh, you're absolutely right. And that's the thing is you have, and in my opinion, which we know some of them have been paid. As it turns out, people have admitted being on the crazy, what I call the real crazy train. People who just, RA is guilty, blah blah blah, and many other stances they take. But some of these people on YouTube are paid actors
Mm-hmm.
to tell you stuff
Mm-hmm.
and to try to sway your opinion.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't get paid. I mean, I really don't. And look,
So it's like,
a lot
come
of
on,
people have, done super chats tonight. But I want to tell you something. Most of the time that I do a live, I never get a super chat, and that's okay. I mean, my people know. Like I don't even ask. If it happens, it's great. But look, we're not being paid to. This is our opinion, our passion,
right.
and because
Well,
we believe in justice, and we believe that there are a lot of victims here, a lot of victims, and we're just trying to speak out and say, hey, because the next time somebody has a suspicious death or not, or God forbid dies in a house fire
yeah.
in Carroll County, which happens very frequently, people need to ask some questions. Who are these people related to? What did they know?
Amen,
people don't realize
Silky.
when you and I talk, for instance, we talk same as we're talking now. Like when we're on the phone, just the same as now. We're not over here acting for an audience. I mean, this is how we talk. But let me stop and say, because I haven't said it yet. All of you who are watching from the Prof's channels, please
I love
go and
Silky.
subscribe to Silky. I pinned,
Yeah.
down below here, I
Oh,
pinned
yeah,
it
yeah,
at the
yeah,
top
yeah,
of the chat, her YouTube channel. So go and please subscribe to Silky. She could use it, and she's a wonderful show to watch.
Yes. If you aren't
Please
subscribed
go
to
and
Silky,
find her.
please do.
She's right there pinned at the top of the chat.
Also drop yours because I don't have it pulled up.
Well, that's the link
Drop your
to
channels in the
this
chat,
live.
pin them, whatever you want to do.
Oh, and if you're not
Absolutely.
subscribed to Prof,
Silky Southern
subscribe.
people.
Oh,
If you're not
I gotta go
subscribed to
figure that
Erica,
out.
please subscribe.
How does
Okay.
If you're not
I don't
subscribed
know.
to Daisy, please subscribe. If you're not subscribed to Diana,
it's
please
just like I can't. I'm limited on what I can do. Reading chat, co-hosting, looking something up. Not an easy task.
Oh, I'm sure.
But yeah.
Yeah.
Jury should
I'm
have
sure.
had it all in front of them, not just the state's flimsy ass gaslighting case. Yeah.
Yes.
Or
100%.
at least, if not all of it, more of it.
And let me tell y'all this.
I'm sure they will, especially if this goes to mistrial and it comes back around. I mean, who knows what's going on.
And let me say to Sleuthy, if you're not familiar with Sleuthy Goosey, follow her on Twitter. She is an expert researcher. Okay, absolutely wonderful, and she's a great person too. I'll throw that in there too. But yeah.
Well,
absolutely.
That's the thing. I'm sorry to interrupt you.
No, you're fine.
Adolf Hitler says, "What 99 call? Who made it?" Exactly, because we don't even know.
Yeah.
No.
And it's more than one. I believe it's two.
Mm-hmm.
I believe it's two, and we don't even get to know who made it. What are the contents? What's the transcript? What's the sounds? Why would they block that?
I've wondered, Prof, if there was something going on in the background, or somebody saying something in the background when they were breaking out those windows. Y'all just, catch up if it's Flora, but you don't break out windows in a fire because it feeds the fire. The oxygen feeds the fire, but that's exactly what people, without naming names, people in charge were doing, and all it did is make the house go up faster. And I wonder, Prof, if there were people saying things that could be recognized in the background. What time was the 911 call made? Was it early on? Had the house not engulfed as much? Yeah. All of those things.
and this is going to be horrible. So if you're squeamish, just close your ears for a moment. I'll give you 5 seconds. Close your ears if you're squeamish.
Disclaimer, warning,
This
warning,
is
trigger
nothing
warning.
anyone ever wants to say or to think about. Okay, but I'll tell you now. Those girls were screaming for their lives
Oh God.
as they burned alive.
Okay.
As their mother was outside.
There are 4 baby girls in there screaming for their lives as they're dying. And you're going to keep that out of public ears?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and this is why it's hard. And for y'all who support Flora, I 100% support Flora. But for those who wonder why I don't do more of Flora, it's because, like I said in the beginning, it's because I can't. I get so angry.
Yeah.
I'm really gonna say some things that I really don't want. The internet lives forever. I'm either gonna break down in tears or I'm gonna start screaming very ugly things, and I have to really pace myself on Flora because that one.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
hard for me to even say what I just said because I
Yeah.
choked up because I stood over their bodies in that cemetery and I realized there was just 4 little girls under that ground there. It brings tears to your eyes. Those 4 little girls. It's not just some figments of your imagination on the YouTube screen.
Exactly. And the mom outside
And
that
there's a
cannot
mommy
reach her
with you.
children.
Yeah.
So, that's the kind of thing, as bad as Delphi was, and I'm not saying that Flora was worse or better.
Thanks for coming, Nicole.
I think they're equal.
We love you.
But some of the things that you have to talk about when you talk about Flora is so much harder for me. And it's, it's like I said when I first heard about Flora. Because Flora happened first, then Delphi happened, but Delphi continuously gets all the attention and has for years, even before Rick Allen. And I mean, I've always said it. Is it because of the color of their skin? Did that make a difference on what you're going to report on?
Well,
how important is it? And I'm gonna shut up right there.
Mm-hmm.
But that's always been my thought.
Yeah.
It's just, it's horrific. It's horrific. And the darkness on Carroll County, in my opinion, is going to remain until they put these people behind bars that most likely have real connections to these 2 cases.
Yep.
And some of them are the same people or run with the same crowds. And we know that. And until you get these people off the street and in jail where they belong, you're going to have that blight on Carroll County forever. That's just my opinion.
Amen.
All right, I gotta stop talking about Flora.
Yeah, don't talk.
I'm sorry. I have to.
Woof.
I get too wound up.
I can't even keep going.
Yeah.
But these people, like this, like you said it perfectly. There's a blight on Carroll County, and the lack of justice or the absence of justice is going to let that blight remain until justice comes. Transparency. People want to know, like, honor these dead children.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, for God's sakes, they're children. They were all just children.
Yeah, I hope they didn't mean it that way.
With the truth.
Yeah.
No matter what it means, like, yeah, some people are going down. Some of the politicians look bad. Some of the family, I don't care.
I don't care either. I mean, I really don't. I've never accused anybody. I mean, there are definitely questions that you have in these cases. Never accused anybody. But the bottom line is, I don't care. I don't care if they're involved or if they're not. I want the people involved in jail. And that's, to me, that is justice. And in my opinion, for 2 years since the arrest, it ain't Rick Allen.
What are you
And
talking
as
about,
far as I
Cool
know, you
Channel?
can't tie him at all to Flora. So there's that. Um, let's see. All right, I'm gonna try to catch my breath a little bit. I know it's hard. It's hard. Does anybody else have somebody on the list? Maybe you've already put it in chat and I missed it. Anybody else have more people to add to the list?
Yeah, what are you even talking about, Cool Channel?
Because those who call out conspiracy theories are the conspirators. Yeah, I agree, Allie. I do. Uh, wow. Okay, okay.
Poor Silky.
I'm interested. What do y'all think? I know I hear two things, Prof, on this verdict. Either hung jury or acquittal.
That's, yep.
Yeah, my prediction. I said it with Sterling the other day.
I was
think you've got,
shocked. Everyone
I
was
don't know,
shocked.
maybe like a
It's an equal share.
65% hung jury, and then the rest,
Brad Blankenship,
35%
just like come out and say hi.
acquittal, something like that.
Yeah. I mean, you know, it's like I've heard a lot of attorneys say, you never know what a jury's going to do. And I know that's true.
No,
Sometimes
The
I
meal
watch a
would be
trial
cute.
just like the jury. I'm watching it on court TV or whatever. And they come to a conclusion and I'm like, what? Were we watching the same thing? And I guess that's what I'm going to have to say in this case.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
If that's the way it goes, if it goes badly, but I don't know. We've come so far.
well, people like to say the longer that people have all these theories about the longer the jury deliberates X, Y, Z, but from what I've seen from some really good attorneys who are experienced, that's not true.
Yeah.
That it's sort of random odds. So what I'm feeling is that the longer this jury is deliberating, then the more
Sure.
impassioned and thorough job maybe they're doing in trying to reach some sort of proper end. But that still doesn't know we. That still doesn't mean it's going to be successful. But I think it's good that they're being thorough and going long because obviously there are passions in this.
Yeah. Oh, did we
How could
just
you not
cancel each
be?
other
You
out?
know, I'm sorry. Looking at you see the little crime scene photos we've seen are nothing. They're just the two crime scene photos that I believe were taken by one of the searchers. The
Yeah.
crime scene photos that they saw were the actual crime scene photos, very
Yeah.
detailed. They also saw autopsy photos. They also saw video. And so they have a lot more information as far as that goes. And I think that's going to be playing into their hearts and minds.
Yeah. Yeah. That almost gives you PTSD because you're right. I believe I've always believed that the pictures that circulated were from a searcher. It just the way the quality of the photographs, but yeah, can you imagine seeing the real photos? You'd have to have PTSD from that, in my opinion.
Yeah,
I did want to say though, Nancy Drew, way before Flora was a fire that killed a wife and 2 children. They said it was lightning, but it wasn't storming. The Dennis family. Yeah, I did a video on that. Well, I mentioned that in a video pretty heavily. Oh, at least over a year ago. Interestingly, did you know about that one, Prof?
Oh, what's that?
The dentist that his wife and family died in a house fire.
Sorry
Uh,
about the dog. Hold on.
that's okay. Like I've got one running around crazy over here. Um, yeah, Nancy Drew. For the thing of it is that house fire. Now the dental practice. Strangely enough,
That's awesome,
there was
Shane.
a dentist, and I'm not going to name names, not tonight. I may mention it later. I mean, whatever. There was a dentist, and even the newspaper articles, if you read them, you're like, what
Yeah.
in the world? Are you kidding me? Um, but his practice was right across the street from Galen Rose's house, that of the Flora fire. Literally across the street was his practice. Now, that's not where the fire happened. The fire happened at his house. He was the only one to survive.
Mm,
His wife and children were
mm.
uh, killed in that fire. And, he moved on with his life and married a younger woman relatively quickly. And there was no storm. The stats on lightning fires are astronomical. But apparently that's the way Carroll County does it. I almost included him actually in this, but it really doesn't have anything to do with Delphi as far as I know. It is similar to Flora, but it is what it is. So there you go. There's the corruption. And I mean, I think, Prof, if we just stopped and mentioned all of the deaths in Carroll County, and what is the whole county is only like 20,000, 20 something
Yeah.
thousand. That's the whole county. Like my city has more than that, and I'm in a small town. I don't even know what
Mine
our
too.
census
Mine
is.
too.
Yeah, so you imagine a whole county and only having 20,000 people, and yet the death rate is astronomical, especially over the years. If you go back and you look at stats from other states and other counties, like
Yeah,
why
it's
are so
brown.
many people dying in Indiana?
So it's basically
I mean,
a lot
this
of
is just
that
a
comes
fact,
from
especially the arson fires. It's off
Yes.
the chart.
Greek practice. It's called Holocaust. Um, burnt offerings on Holocaust. And yeah, it's very sacrificial, very, fire is all consuming, cleansing, leaves really nothing but ash, purifying, but yeah, I mean, it's a pretty common ancient practice, Bron. I don't monogram, no. Yeah. So, anything about fire and magic, yeah. I think so. Dee Dee. Yeah. Yeah, Bron is. Thank you, Bron. And there's an I am too. Pearl Clutcher. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I have merch that I need to actually do something with. But yeah, I was gonna make a shirt about I was gonna have a cartoon of Simba, my late kitty, eating some plants and then barfing it up. But I thought that was gonna be too graphic, so yeah, here. Let's
Mm-hmm.
keep going.
And I am saying it's domestic terrorists who are running these meth and these girls, and
Mm-hmm.
something's got to be done. I mean, the
Okay.
onus is on the federal government at this point to swoop in and come down and clean house. I'm sorry.
Yes,
And
I'm
remember,
writing
even
so
Eric
many
Oh,
Williams
thank
notes.
said
you,
that there's
Dee.
so much corruption that Lafayette is going to end up running Delphi. Do you remember that quote from him?
Thank
No,
you.
when was this?
Eric
Thank
Williams.
you.
After the murders of Abby and Libby, he said
Thanks,
there's so
guys.
much
Thank
damn
you, Bron. Thank
corruption
you, Dee
that I
Dee.
guarantee
Thanks,
you
guys.
Lafayette's going to end up running Delphi
Oh,
before
I
it's
need
all
to
over.
make emojis.
I go find the quote because it's awesome.
Wow. Well, I
Yeah.
tell you, also, and this doesn't have to do with Delphi, but it does have to do with corruption. I did a series on Tanner Barton about a year and a half ago, and he was a guy, very suspicious death,
Thanks,
very
sweetie.
suspicious, a lot of substances involved around it, and Tanner still hasn't had
I
justice,
will. I will,
and it's
Ron.
because
I
of
will. I'll try.
whose house he passed away in. Okay.
I just have to get through
Again,
this.
nothing to do with Delphi, but it does have to
I'm
do
never
with
gonna
corruption.
finish.
But what did we say? We named about what? About 14, 16
No, I
people.
appreciate you guys a lot, though.
It's a lot.
Just
I will.
having to do with Delphi. Not counting not counting the many others. So there you go. That's what we're looking at. And I hope y'all who haven't like been part of this case and you're coming in on the Delphi case, I hope you research. I hope you listen. Maybe if you don't want to research, listen to some other creators. I wrote 2 names down, Prof, that you put up there that somebody said Tom Skinner and Noah Rainey. I don't know about them.
Noah, yeah.
I
Look
know.
at this is from Radar. Look at these.
Wait. Were there others before this? Oh, look, we might have to do a part 2.
Jeez.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you.
Stephen
Radar really
Dixon.
knows.
Thanks.
Yeah,
guys.
Radar does. Radar's awesome too. Yeah, Daniel Height. I know a little bit about that one.
Oh boy.
A little bit, not a whole lot. Interesting. You've given me some. Thank y'all. You've given me some stuff to look into. Wow.
I
There's
agree,
too much to look
Rebecca.
into.
There's probably some Indiana senator or governor that has a hush deal with the feds. I'd be willing to bet my left arm you'd find corruption throughout the state. Yeah, and the feds.
Yeah.
They're all over.
I'm gonna say it one more time. I'm sorry, Prof, because it's a no, but I'm gonna say it. I've said it on my channel bunches of times. Jay Abbott.
Mm-hmm.
You don't remember the Larry Nassar case and the essay of
Yep.
Olympics athletes.
Mm.
Nassar and Abbott were working together. Actually, Abbott left or Abbott tried to leave and join Nassar, who was diddling the girls. I guess it was just the girls. I don't really know. Jay Abbott, friends with Nassar, also friends with Mike Pence, who was then the governor.
Carter.
Not the governor anymore because, he took a bigger job back in 2016 to Washington. So you tell me, how far does it go? There's a lot of stuff that I would only say on a members only. But I'll just say that there are some very credible people who have named very prominent people in the government and the ISP for accusing them of being a chomo or a essayer.
Silky's so
These
cute.
people aren't alive anymore,
So weird to hear her say chomo.
but you can still find their videos if you look hard. So, is it the whole state of Indiana?
And Silky's got
We're
a
not
book
saying
out too.
Indiana's the only
Honestly,
state
Gordon,
that does
guys.
this. I mean, it goes all over the place. This kind of stuff, unfortunately, is everywhere. It just seems that there's a lot of concentration in Indiana. And is it because a big bunch of it is rural and,
There's a
people
lot
just
of
think, oh, it's
inner
just
streets to go through there.
a little
It's like
mom and
the
pop
shipping
town,
hub
nothing
of
goes
the
on here. I
Midwest.
don't know. Makes a perfect cover, though, doesn't it?
The Midwest.
Well, and it's like I said about these people. I predict that what's going to happen when the accountability starts to be demanded, what they're going to say is, whoops, we're all incompetent.
Yeah.
We're all incompetent. Jerry Holman, Mullen, blah, 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 the police department, the sheriff's department, we're just incompetent. Nothing to see here. We're incompetent. Sorry, guys.
Really
We'll
dumb.
let a couple heads roll. Don't forget about. I mean, just forget about it.
Oops.
Nothing to see here.
Yeah.
And I will
Woman will
absolutely
become
not buy that. I will not buy
Mm-mm.
it. They are not
No.
independent of
they are
ISP.
corrupt,
He like
and something has to be
he
done.
fails upwards.
100%. Yeah, so much. You have to be very careful what you
Yes.
say, even on
Thank you,
members
Quad.
only. You have to
Yes.
be careful, but
That's
there's a
Quad
lot of names
Stitch.
and a lot of situations. Do I trust Holman like I would a rattlesnake?
I
How much I trust Holman.
would not trust a rattlesnake.
So there you go.
And hey, he might have started off okay, but at this point, like you literally projected that you wanted Alan
Yeah, that he was kind of
guilty,
yeah.
and you
He's
were going to find him guilty
no matter what.
matter what,
Yeah,
one way or the other.
one way or the other.
And it looks like that's what you all have done.
Yeah.
My favorite one was when he was
Yeah,
living.
and I'm looking in the chat. Yes,
This
a
is
lot of, like I
realistic.
said, and
Instead of saying
I
this is
didn't know
reality,
names, but yeah, a lot of
this
you
is
are right.
realistic.
And first responders, people who were at Flora and Delphi. Yep. And again, it's a small county, and other towns come and help and stuff like that. So you can't just say, oh well, this is really suspicious. I mean, yeah, they do help the other places. So not necessarily. Okay, you can't just say, well, because person was a first responder here and there's
Yes,
there's
what
something
God said.
nefarious. Not in itself.
Yeah.
And that's the thing.
You
But
got
that's
bit
not
by
the
a
reason. It's
rattlesnake?
like, well, that is part of the piece
Wow.
of the pie,
Hoosier, are you okay?
but it's not the whole pie. Let's see. Yeah, I'm hoping. Yes, you're right. Nobody, nothing. That is exactly the name. Yeah. If anybody's wondering about the dentist, find that comment. That's who that was. Very, very suspicious. Okay, let's see. I'm looking at radar. Okay.
Oh.
Interesting.
Oh, thanks, Hoosier.
Is that the one you're talking about?
It's late.
Oh wait, no.
Actually, a lot of things go over my head
do you
in
think?
written form.
Oh, the Sugar
I
Creek.
need all the context.
Yeah.
I can get.
Well, they're saying that's why Kim Riley made the Sugar Creek mistake. I don't know.
Sugar
You know,
Creek.
like I've said, every single aspect of this case is full of like suspicion. From where they were found, when they were
It'd
found,
be funnier
who found
if you
them,
bit the
were they in the
snake.
water,
If
were they
you
not in
bit
the
the
water, were
rattlesnake,
they in a
you
shack,
would-
were they not in a shack, were they this and that, this, who found them, when they dropped them off, when they picked them up, answering the calls,
Yeah.
not answering the calls, put the sweatshirt, put the hair on the sweatshirt, hair in the finger.
Mhm.
Yeah. Oh, digital for sure. For sure. I can't get over how someone who was only a speck on the screen
Oh, you're
crossed the
back.
bridge
You're
that
back,
long
Phoebe.
and came up behind the girls in less than 43 seconds. I hope that's what the jury sees. And I hate that they weren't taken out there. I thought that they would take them out to the crime,
All
not
you
the
need to
crime
do is
scene,
just
but
look
to the
at them.
bridge.
Look at them.
I was kind of
Hoosier,
disappointed because I
and
think if
scare
they
'em away.
could, the jury could have seen the old bridge, the part that hasn't been replaced, and you think, how hard would it be? How fast could you cross this?
Yay.
Not very, unless you knew it very, very well. That whole, the whole video, the bridge guy, the sketches. Look, that part, Prof, just makes me want to puke. That whole thing that they did to us, and had you looking at every single body with a Carhartt jacket,
Yep.
With the
You know-
totally artificial, fake created face. People stared at that
Exactly.
face for 7.5 years and compared it to damn near every male
Okay,
in
Montana.
Carroll County.
Yeah.
And it was all
Neighbors.
Montana, we're
and they knew it the whole
watching.
time.
Right, and they're saying, look at this. I mean, remember Doug Carter talking?
So we're just watching an old live with Silky and Prof. And they're going over the Delphi Body Count. Yeah. So this is just a replay of an old. This is like an 11-month-old live stream, but it was a really good one. Yeah, but it's good to see you.
About his mannerisms and the voice and all this could be somebody, somebody like, look, people were it was almost like Germany back in the 40s, 30s and 40s.
Yeah.
People were looking at their neighbors,
Oh,
like
you just
turning
tried
in
that.
people, turning in their neighbors, because God forbid they walked out in a Carhartt jacket and blue jeans and some boots. I mean, standard Indiana,
Yeah.
clothing. It's like, oh, that could be Bridge Guy. Like,
The
how
witch hunt was
cruel
crazy.
was that to do to a county of people, who loved Abby and Libby and were already hurting and horrified and scared? Who
Very
is
true,
this guy?
Slippy.
Are my children safe?
Very
Well,
true.
the sheriff told you within days,
Mhm.
oh, you have nothing to worry about. You're safe. How can you say that? How could you say that about Delphi if you didn't know who the perpetrator was?
Right.
Now that there makes my blood boil too.
Mm-hmm.
To go around and tell people they had nothing to worry about.
Right.
And you got two little girls brutally slaughtered with their necks slashed in the woods,
Yeah.
a place where other kids regularly go.
Yeah. And you have the audacity to say, oh, you're safe. You're safe. To me, that was one of the first things that was a huge red flag. You don't say that.
Right.
I mean, think about even New York City during the 70s when you had Son of Sam running around, whatever, David Berkowitz running around shooting people. Even the cities in large areas say, be safe. Don't go out after dark. If you do, go out with a group of people, blah, blah, blah. Don't be sitting in your car alone or just with one other person. Like, they gave you warnings. Oh, but not old Tobe. Old Tobe just wanted to say, oh, you're safe. Let your kids run around. Yeah.
But here's going to put a 40 caliber bullet on my desk right here for the TV and try to like intimidate someone sideways style.
Yeah. Yeah, that was when I watched that interview, though, all I can think of is Barney Fife and his one bullet. But that's just me. But yeah, you had that so early on. It was a very big red flag, because either you do not, there's not a good explanation. Either you do not care about the safety of your citizens, or two,
Oh
who
my
did
God,
it,
who
and you know
should-
it's not going to
That's
happen again because you
terrifying.
know why they did it.
Oh,
There's only one of two
so
explanations for
scary.
that kind of statement. And that's just my opinion, but
At least rattlesnakes have the decency to
from the
warn
get-go.
you.
Because when you hear the community is safe,
Amen.
you know that it's
Mhm.
targeted.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't
Right.
know, but I don't know. Here's the thing I've learned: you can't trust a single one of these bastards out of Delphi, whether it's
Mm-mm.
Lesenby, Mullen, Carter,
Nope.
Holman.
Don't do
I mean,
it.
at this point,
Don't trust me.
I want to trust Carter,
No.
but at
Just
this
wait.
point, dude,
Yeah.
you let them damn near kill Rick Allen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you got some explaining to do, and it's time to put up or shut up.
Yeah.
We need the feds in here immediately and give this whole town an enema. Clean it out. It's got to be done. I mean, the bullshit needs to stop.
The Carroll County enema. Oh, that needs to be a meme.
Yeah,
Some
we
of y'all-
do. We do,
y'all,
Hoosier.
that needs to be a meme.
We do. At least they warn us.
You're right, though. They need a good cleansing.
It makes the blood boil.
Scary.
And
Yeah.
then
Scary.
think of all the harm that's been done.
They're pretty.
All of the threats,
scary.
intimidation, doxing. You got Robert Fortune dead, like I said.
Yeah.
You got all these other bodies we've been talking about. And what about us here? There's a lot of us here who have had severe emotional distress because of the threats and bullshit that they've allowed to
Just
continue.
saying,
A lot of
your
people have been
words,
hurt
bro.
in this community, and they know it.
Mm.
It's been reported to FBI. The people know this. Todd Rokita, Attorney General of Indiana, knows it.
Yeah, he's
Nothing's
worthless,
been done.
dude. That guy. I
Yeah,
know he did like one
exactly.
good thing recently,
Um,
but it's like, oh, good job.
sorry, I got
Yeah.
distracted. Let
You're
me do
smart,
make a
Hoosier.
correction though.
I was like, oh, he's
Somebody
a
just
good
messaged
guy.
me.
No.
Galen Rose did not work at the marathon in Delphi, but in Flora.
Okay, there we go.
My mistake.
There we go.
However,
Sherry put
that
that
does
in
not.
I mean, in the
Oh, did
chat
they?
earlier.
Okay. But let me say this. That has nothing to do with what we were talking about. The video that, disappeared. That still was Delphi, still in relation to Abby and Libby. But yeah, I do want to say, please feel free to correct me if I'm wrong about something.
About the way you left
because,
his, that's clever. Yeah, that's smart.
Let's see. I am so far behind on the chat, y'all.
How dare you,
Am I frozen?
You were for just a second.
I look frozen, but I'm not sure.
You're freezing just a little bit, and then you come back. So, do you think we'll get a verdict tomorrow? I heard somebody say something.
Yeah, it was all an act. Because I was like,
the other day I think it was on X. And
he was always just so like.
Tomorrow is Veterans Day, and they said, wouldn't it be awesome, as Richard Allen was a veteran, for him to be acquitted on Veterans Day? And I'm like, that really would be cool.
You want to promote your channel, Montana? Please do.
Yes. Yeah, we've talked about that. Purple Hearts, the first scanner said that the girls were found in the water. Sure was.
Please promote it. Goodness, excuse me.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm going to put another one up. Let's see. I'm having a little glitching.
Yeah, and then the very next day, because this was the 10th of November, the very next day on the 11th.
I agree with y'all. I think that they were trying to force him into a confession. I mean, I did not see that interview from Holman, and but from what I've heard from the people in the courtroom, that that's pretty much what it was.
Holman.
Is Jay Abbott related to the Abbott man at the trails that day? I don't know. I really don't know. Man, I'm still far behind, y'all. I'm sorry, I'm catching up.
Oh, nice.
You still there, Prof?
Yeah, do you hear me? I was freezing up. I'm not sure if I'm not freezing up. I feel good.
When you do, it's just a glitch. It doesn't last but just a second, and then you come back.
So we should be good.
Yeah, there's another one that disappeared. Wait, that's not a J. Kyle Keener made himself scarce after all of that. As did a lot of people, as did a lot of people. Let's see.
Yeah, I believe Erica. I believe I think she's been through all the shit she's been through.
I just don't want to.
I think she has the receipts.
We've been going for 2 hours and 26 seconds, so I'm thinking that we're going to be about done. But I don't
think anybody with that amount of information in their brain
brought up, especially anybody else who.
This one here, how can Ellie lie like this for
That's
years?
gotta be overwhelming.
Many people knowing the truth.
I can barely handle the information.
Ellie fabricated this narrative. For Ellie to do this, they have blood on their hands.
So
the same scenario was done to Snyder, Jesse Snyder.
Like, I'm always going to have grace for people
that. Now he's another one that I thought about. There's a lot on the peripherals
to like get the information.
For those who don't know, look up. I think it wasn't it R&M that did that video on Jesse Snyder?
Yes, they did.
Yeah, look up Jesse Snyder.
Pretty much shows you exactly how it was. It's bad.
Right. And strangely enough,
Yeah,
and
I'm gonna
and
send
Jesse
you to
Snyder did
Montana.
unalive himself, but it was a horrible process what law enforcement did to him, the ridiculousness
Oh,
that the
Erica.
things that they put him through that were completely.
Yeah, it's
It was
not
like,
the way I would
why?
have
What is wrong
reacted,
with you?
but
And
I mean, they get to see things behind the scenes that
strangely,
I don't get to
the
see.
person that caused the most trouble
So,
in this case was a man named
but
Dan
yeah,
Doolin.
I don't feel
Where have I
great
heard that
about
name
it,
before?
Shay.
Oh, Dan Doolin is the one that interviewed Richard Allen. Hmm, interesting.
Well, let me just say, add to this too, because look, people are going to point at us. They're going to say it anyway, so I don't care. They're going to look at us and they're going to say, they're just conspiracy theorists. They're saying everyone is corrupt and colluding. Yes, yes, actually. The same names consistently come up as being POSs, okay? Corrupt, evil. And look, we have a mutual friend named Josh, right, Silky? Josh will tell you that it's no lie. These same people were known for this. Just like Josh will tell you, my buddy Joe Swisher, retired master trooper, was known as a good cop. Okay? You got good cops, you got piece of shit cops. And
Yeah.
these names that just so happen to be popping up with being the touch points in Delphi happen to be the piece of shit cops.
Oh, Dolly Parton's.
Why? Why?
Well, here's the thing, Prof. And I'm not saying it just happens in Carroll County, but law enforcement
Do you
doesn't
want to
make a lot
post
of
the
money.
link, Montana? Now that
They
you have
just
a
don't,
wrench, you can
and
post the
that's a
link.
shame. It's really a shame because, in my opinion, law enforcement, like, it's a hard job.
Post the
It's a
link,
tough job,
Montana, for
and
medium. Do it,
you can make a
please.
lot of difference, or you can make a, a lot of mistakes. Say that word loosely. But sometimes police need an additional source of income because it's hard to make ends meet on what they're paid, which again I think is ridiculous. But is that why? I mean, that's usually why cops get involved
That's
and or
true.
cover up or are paid hush money to not mention things
Yep.
because they're not actually doing
Thank
it.
you. Thank you,
They're just not
Montana.
exposing
You
it,
guys go check out
and they can pay their
Montana's
mortgage this
medium.
month.
Let's see it.
I mean, it happens, and I say this because I worked with law enforcement.
Wow.
And I mean, I would tell them all the time, like, this is ridiculous. I mean, I knew the pay scale. Like, it's why? Why aren't they paying more? Like, this is important. This should be a well-paid job.
Carrie says
it's
all of
not.
these pro RA supporters should line the streets tomorrow morning with their signs so when the jury is bust in, they can see them. Let me say something on that, Carrie, because I haven't said this, but I want everyone to know who's not privy to what's going on at the courthouse in Delphi. You guys, it's actually laughable, but it's perfect because it's reflective of what we're seeing here in YouTube. And what we're seeing here in YouTube is that 85-90% of the people are leaning towards Richard Allen is innocent, or that at a minimum, the prosecution has presented no case. And I mean, the numbers don't lie. When you see the numbers watching us versus the numbers watching the couple that are staunch supporters of law enfortement or of Richard Allen's guilt, it's astonishing.
Thank you.
We're getting 85 to 15%, something like that. Well, it's the exact same outside of the courthouse. Because the few guys that I have out there at the courthouse, it's amazing. I've asked them to take video and photos for me so they can prove. I don't want to hear their word. I want to see the proof for myself. But literally, you have almost 100 people out there, and of that 100 people, 75 of them are pro due process. Richard Allen is innocent crowd. When you look at all the people holding the signs and all the group out there supporting Richard Allen and some due process, it looks good. And you look over there at the little crowd that's over there wanting blood. sitting there with blood loss, calling him a baby killer, even though there's been no evidence presented. It's like 7 or 8 people, and it's amazing. Think about it, y'all. Yeah,
Yeah.
think about it. 7 or 8 people versus 70 people. So that's just a
mean,
good word. And like I
You're
said, we're
saying his
seeing it
links?
here in these YouTube streams.
What do you
as
mean?
well.
yeah, lots of.
What do you mean? I don't think he would mind some of his, but what kind of links? I don't think he would mind at all, Montana Go. For the documents? Yeah. Are you talking about like his archive? Like his archive links? Because he's yay, okay, yeah, definitely. I haven't heard from him in a long time though, so I hope he's okay. But yeah, if you need his email address, let me know, and then hopefully eventually he'll get back in touch with people.
Prof, sorry, I've got a gnat. Yeah, Prof and I have seen a lot of that in our live streams, and also on X. You're right; it's blowing up. I
Yep.
just wanted to say that talking about Jesse Snyder, the
Yeah, we
documentary
were.
is by R&M Productions, and it's called The
We
Reckoning.
were.
And it's what I don't know. I don't know how long it is. I don't know if it's 20, 40
The
minutes.
Jesse Snyder thing.
Yes, but
And
it
let me
will
tell
tell you a lot.
I just gave. Okay, don't try to kill me tomorrow with the numbers. It's a rough estimate. I'm telling you, when I'm looking at the photographs and videos I'm being sent, it's a huge group for Richard Allen, and it's like 7 people for Nicholas McClelland. So just want to clear that up.
Yeah. And like I said, I will say this, and I've said it multiple times. If they find him guilty, it's going to go straight to an appellate court. And once it goes to appeal and they see that Gold did not allow the Franks motion or any third party anything, plus the fact that the PCA was crap, they may just throw it out completely. If not, I definitely think that Richard Allen will be acquitted in an appellate court.
I hope so. So
The thing is, will he live that long?
right.
Well, let's hope so.
Yeah.
Because
Well, now that
if he
he's
doesn't,
moved.
you're going to hear a huge outcry.
Yeah.
And I think maybe that's the great thing about this case is that it is
Yeah.
so public, Prof, that now if something happens to Richard Allen,
Good.
they're going to be looking
Yep.
really, really, really close.
Yep.
The public.
Magnifying glass.
So maybe that's a good thing. I don't want to get
Type in windings.
I agree. I say this:
Mm,
no matter what,
nice.
Silky, the eyes of the world are on
Not
this
on
case,
the
and that's just not hyperbole. It's not a catchphrase. There are more eyes now on this case than have ever been. And literally, I get people every day: Scotland, New Zealand, UK, South Africa, blah, 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 even Saudi Arabia. We're getting people. The whole world is watching this. It ain't going away. You can't put the cat back in the bag. It's gone.
Right.
No, you can't put cats in any bags.
Yeah. And, maybe some people should be worried.
See, every Facebook page.
I think some people are.
The
And
image
that's
of his
why they're
creator.
fighting back so much. But look, if you're guilty, you're guilty.
Cool.
I don't care who you are. All right. Talking about how many are from Indiana.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people say, Montana.
I have looked at I can't say. I don't know if you, Prof. I do have
Probably criminal underworld.
people from Indiana. But like you, I have on Silky Southern, I've got so many people from other countries, like way all over the place as well. So And again, I think a lot of people in Indiana don't talk because they're scared. They're just like,
Yeah, I wouldn't
I'm just gonna
talk.
stay out of it. I'm gonna stay out of it. But I would hope that if this was happening in Alabama and this was
Mm-hmm.
corruption in my state, and I felt too scared or too
Justice
intimidated
is a lady.
for my
Yeah.
kids' sakes, whatever, my
She,
family,
she's
I would
can't see
hope
where
that
she's walking
people
then.
online would
And
be a
she's
voice
carrying a
for me.
sword and
I would hope
scales.
that somebody would take it up and say, "Hey,
So that's kind of bad.
let's call out the corruption."
Brian K. Pled guilty.
Um,
Figure that out.
You see, Sleuthy says, "Oh no, the world is watching.
Kind of
The
like
world does see what's going
Keegan
on." That's what I'm
Blinded
saying. And Twitter is.
took
I
off
never
for
seen
everybody.
hardly a single thing on Twitter. It
Allegedly.
was so minimal over these years. But since this trial has been going on, especially the past week, especially, Twitter's absolutely blowing up as it should be. You know,
Yeah, they go into
I know you
boxes
put a
so
lot of stuff up
easily.
there. I starred something. You can go back and look at it.
So
By
true.
Sandy D.
That's
It's
awesome,
very
Quad.
interesting.
oh, I didn't see what it is, but
That's so funny.
there's
I
I
don't know
missed
if
so
I.
many chats. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm trying my
I
best, but
just see
there's just so many.
Oh my
I know. I
goodness.
know.
We've got 2,000 chats, and
If I
I know
fit,
I've
I
got at least
sit.
50 starred that I haven't even put up yet.
That was
Yeah.
like the first
There's just
meme
some
that I
things.
really
I don't even know if
was
I would
like,
put
that's
that one in there.
adorable. If
Hey, I just love
But
you
it's
guys.
very
Let me say,
interesting.
my people, look, uh, people who are here, I just love you so much. The ones who've been here a long time, you know, I especially love you, and I mean like nobody, nothing, radar, all you long timers, love you guys. All you new people who are coming and contributing so much amazing, so many amazing comments and value to this chat. I appreciate it, and even Silky's viewers, who some of you I don't even know. I just want you to know that we really love you being here. It's
Yes.
not, I say many times, it's not about me being a talking head or what telling you things or whatever. This is the greater value in this is your presence here, all the people in the chat. So
Right.
we really do value it, and I just wish I could
that's
throw up
creepy
all 2,000 of these one
and
after the other, but
interesting.
I mean I'm treading water here. I'm struggling to breathe, but
I
hopefully
know.
before we get out of here I'll put up several more, and I just want to thank you all for being here, and thanks Silky for sharing the time with me. You know, I always love doing shows, Silky shows.
I do too. I do. Because most of the time, Prof, I'm sitting here. I mean, I'm very engaged with the chat, and to my people, you all know. I tell you all the time how much I love and appreciate you for sure. But I'm usually engaged, very engaged with chat. It's just there's so much going on. But I appreciate doing shows with you because I like to hear somebody else talk besides myself. I really do.
Hey,
Um,
it's there's so much to talk about. Like we could go on and on and on. But
yes, we
please
could.
let me do a commercial. Please, for Silky, go subscribe to her channel, and
Yes,
if you're
do.
watching me, please subscribe. I have two channels, and also please support us. We don't like asking, but please, we have super chats, PayPal, Cash Apps, Buy Me a Coffee, blah 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 blah. Please hit the
I will
likes, hit the
take
likes.
comments
If
and
you're in the lurker
cats.
crew, join the chat before we leave
I only
here.
want
And if you're on a
cats.
replay, because you know these replays will stay up for years, leave
Yes.
a comment down below because the comments
And they
are
have to
just
be
so
well behaved
thrilling
cats
day to day as the comments keep going on and the conversation continues.
and
So
Mm-hmm.
fluffy.
we love the comment section
Must
too.
be
So please
fluffy
leave a comment and
kitties.
let us know what you think.
Yes.
And again, thank you all for being here. This has
Oh,
just been wonderful.
a little
It
kitten.
has. And my people, please
So
subscribe to the Prof. Like I
cute.
said, he said
We should watch the
he's
cat
got two channels.
movie.
I was gonna say something about
Pinky cat.
Prof. The
Where's Pinky in
comments
the
mean a
brain?
lot to me, and there are many videos I
It's
have
very
done when I wasn't going live and I
Aw,
was just doing videos.
so
Um,
sweet.
there were so many comments that were so good and that gave me so much information. I could do a whole video just on viewer comments and I loved it. So don't think that we don't read them. I've
Oh,
actually had some good
Sylvia,
ones
that's so
lately. And I'm
cute.
like, I might need to do a whole video on this. So
Dude.
yeah,
Ow.
if you're on the replay crew, great.
Yeah.
Um,
We should.
comments.
Oh my
Look,
gosh, we should
I want to see
watch.
what you're saying.
Um,
Especially if you've got more information on.
yeah. So that's a really good one, guys. Easy to yell if the cat gets lost. Yeah. There's that live. Please subscribe to Silky and Prof if you haven't already. Let me see if I can find the let's see. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh, so much power now. So much, so much. Oh my god.
Pinky. Hi, this is Pinky.
Wait, start again. Hold on. Go.
This is Pinky. He's a male cat, domestic short hair. He's available for adoption. He's pet of the week, Placer County Animal Shelter. He's a very loving cat.
Hang on, please. Oh yeah, Pinky.
Pinky.
Pinky. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Well, we got a wildcat on our hands. Pinky, settle down, bud. Careful, Cole. Careful. Oh, I get a catch pole. Somebody got a catch pole.
Oh. Pinky.
Just set it over there.
No.
Get a catch pole.
Catch off over to get him.
Yeah, because I'm not going to grab him. Oh, dude.
Watch it, he's caught up in there. Just disconnected from the deck. You got you in the back?
Oh my god. Oh my god. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I apologize. That is just too funny. I'm sorry. Yeah. Yeah. Oh my god. I'm sorry. Yes. So on that note, I want that cat. I know. I need that cat. Pinky. Oh, you guys, thank you for hanging out with me. I'm not sure how long I'm gonna keep this up. Maybe I'll just unlist it, and if you go back in your history, you can still share the link to people. But I don't want to take away views from Silky's. I don't want to take away from Silky and Prof's live, but I thought it was good to go over because there's a lot of names in there that there's too many names in there, let's be honest. And then there were more to add too with Howdy and Amanda and Sherawn. So yeah. But yeah, I'm gonna go. I think it's like, oh, it's almost 2 a.m. here. You guys are super troopers. Yeah, Pinky didn't like the name. He was like, how dare you? I am a masculine cat. Male cat named Epididymus. Oh. Yeah, don't be nude around creatures with murder mittens. That could not end well. Yeah, it reminds me of the time. Good night. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, that was a great live. I love that live. It's also in the Delphi playlist, Deconstructing Delphi, on this channel, on the Inlate channel. But yeah, murder mittens. They, my cats need them clipped. I just have to like do it when they're not paying attention, because otherwise then they do the pinky. They are afraid of cucumbers. They are afraid of cucumbers. I think it's because it looks like a snake, but oh, well. There's also like a ton of videos where they like the cats can out reflex snakes. So I'm like, yes. Protect me, cats. Protect me. My cats wouldn't though. They'd be like, oh my god, what's that? Get away from me. Oh. Okay, well, I love you guys, and I will talk to you later. And I'll probably pass out, but then I'll probably unlist it when I remember to. Class laughed hard. The female matched to Houdini's vocal self. He's so loud. I get so mad at him. I'm like, oh, shut up, cat. And he's like, meow. I'm like, no. So, yeah. All right. Well, I love you guys. Thank you for hanging out with me. This made it a lot more pleasant. And yeah, always good to learn from, from Silky and Prof. And then if you guys haven't already, Erica too. Go check out Victims News on air. So I'll talk to you guys later, and everybody have a good morning now. I'll talk to you later. Bye.